Tottenham away. Tottenham away. When we got Tottenham away.
All right. It's the show that everybody's been waiting for. It is the North London Derby. It is our preview show. And of course, Arsenal bottles it again. They're late. Texted them. Connor just said he'll be on in a couple minutes. And same for Stefan. They'll be on in a couple of minutes. I think Snell's going to come through. And so, Stefan's coming on now. Will be 10 minutes. It is the preview. While we wait for those bottlers to come onto the show in about 10 minutes, we can, Michael, talk about, before we give some big ups, we could talk about some interesting action on the transfer window that has been happening today. We lost someone. Well, not lost someone, but I didn't believe we were going to get that person. But then Arsenal picked up someone. And it's not even a striker, but a quality player is Zubimendi. But let's give a big up first. Eugene, big up, is in the house. Big Tone, he's in the house. Big up. He's ready to give his prediction, 3-1 Arsenal. We'll get to the predictions. We're going to talk about that. Miani, side with Juve, and common sense. I mean, Juve is 5th, 6th in Serie A. We're 12th. I mean, it doesn't take rocket science. I'm not a big fan of Miani, but he would be the best of, on our team right now, currently speaking. Big up Tottenham Scout. Big up Sue Smith and out. Big up to William, 21 months a member. Big up.
Big up, William.
Yeah. This show is gonna be interesting tonight. Just waiting for the guys. Sporting Express, big up. Big up to Jimmy Hotspur. Big up to Alan Lane. Big up Dan G in the house. So big up, lads. Keenan, big up. Keenan J HS. Big up to John Fitzpatrick, big supporter of the channels. Big up. Yes, smash the like, people. Smash the like. Tonight's show is going to be good. Like I said, Stefan just said 10 minutes. Connor says 10 minutes. Stell is any minute. Big up Tom Thatcher. Big up. Everyone. Big up. Breakdown. Shakedown. We're going to get smacked up more. We're so unpredictable. Both teams are. Big up Matt. Man, his prediction was 2-1 Arsenal. I was shocked. But big up. Matt's going to watch the game, and, we're full course here. Big up to Matt. He was on the show yesterday. Greg B, big up. And out. Jordan, big up. Jordan, big supporter of the channel. Jordan, what I love about him, sometimes he does those little digs at me. Oh, man, but big up Jordan. Jordan's good people. Jordan, we're going to have to get you on the show, man. You're everywhere, Jordan. We're going to have to get you on the show, future show. Big up Ed. Big up, big supporter of the channel. I'm ready to say Harry Gone TV. Spurs fans never won more. Yo, you're right, Jordan. I I don't rate him. I don't rate. Plus, everybody knows I bleed Argentina, and so um, why would I want a guy who had it? I don't want to say easy, but it's a great save by Martinez. The World Cup final, but everybody knows Miani couldn't finish his dinner there, and so I'm like, why would I want that guy who's historically known for that? Daryl Denton, we're on 13th. Yep, West Ham won, and if United wins tomorrow, there's a possibility we could be tied for 15th with Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace has a game that I want to say they're favored. Uh, we'll get to that. I not in my lifetime, and I've been supporting this team since 07, 08. I've never seen us this bad, and I mean, and I went through the Sherwood years and ABB, and yeah, Cold Shot, big up, Cold Shot, big up, Ryman's son, big up, Greg.
Rather cold shot. Why did you call me an Arsenal fan, man? Come on.
Big up, Raymond's son. Big up. Antonio, big up. Telling them to win 3-1. Oh, man, that would be great. Especially, did Liverpool take the lead? I think they
1-1. 1-1 at that point.
Yeah. Forest, it's interesting. Big up Dan G. Big up James Cook. Big up, big supporter. Big up Scott Hyman, another supporter. Big up. Thank you guys for the love. We'll start with Tottenham transfer talk. Michael, I don't know if you heard me the other day about my views on big up Alexander. Big up another supporter of the channel. First of all, and big up Agnes. Big up, man. We gotta start talking the banter already getting started. I first of all, right now you see everything about Rashford. I do not want Rashford.
Oh Jesus, please no.
Please no. I do not want a United reject. I have even with the year he scored 20 goals. Like I just don't like Rashford. I don't rate him. I don't think he's okay. I just don't want him in the club. I would rather have Yang let the young Korean play. Like I would take him to play than Rashford. I don't want Rashford.
Yeah.
Miani, I was like, okay, I'll take him. I'm not in love with it. So I'm not really disappointed that Juventus beat us out for him. Like I'm not, because I'm like, I want us to sign someone that's levels, and I don't think he takes us to that level. So I just, and so I don't want the fallback option to be Rashford. I'm like, no, like I said, I want to have young man spit on that thing, hook, big up. Like I would rather have him at the club, It's just I'm you could call me naysayer, but this window January, I'm just not enthused. Our keeper has done well the first two games, and that's good competition for Kari. I mean, Kari is our number one, but maybe going to next season, you always want competition. I like the command that he has, a bit more than Vicario. So we'll see. He'll be tested because of set pieces, because of Arsenal. So we'll see how he does. I don't think for the first time in a long time, I don't think anybody has solidified a starting spot in the starting 11. Automatics, Kane and Son. Now the way Son is playing, is really, and Madison comes from the bench. There's not really anybody. Maybe Kulu.
I think Kulusevski at
is an automatic starter, like number one, like. But everybody else is subjective. You got Spence versus Udogi, and then now, There's some people that want when Romero comes back, they still want Dragson to start. You know, it's just I don't see this any automatics. But what are your thoughts about this early transfer window so far for us?
Yeah, I actually don't mind us not getting Muani. I am not fond of that player, and I personally think we kind of dodged the bullet. Sorry, I have to cough.
I agree with you.
Sorry. I think, especially because it was supposed to, like, you know, it's hard to judge it, right? Because everyone was saying, every journalist was saying that Juventus want us to sign like an obligation to buy or whatever, and now he has gone to Juventus without like even an option to buy, right? So which one was the case? But still, I am happy that we didn't get him with an obligation to buy. I just feel like I don't trust his finishing ability. I don't think it's anything special. It's definitely not better than like most of our players. So like he's not particularly the greatest dribbler. He's not like the greatest finisher. So what's the point of getting him in my opinion? I think we need to upgrade. We don't need to bring in like players of similar quality to what we have already. So again, I've seen like a huge meltdown about us not getting him in the door. As I said, I don't really mind. I just hope we have a different target, right? Because if it was our only target and we are not going to get anyone in the forward line, that I am going to be pissed that we didn't get him, right? Because I still think we need someone, right? We need someone to get rid of Werner, right? I don't want to see Turbo Wanker starting for us ever again, right? But he probably will if you don't bring in another guy, right? So yeah, so I don't mind that. Angus has asked about them like most likely getting Zubimendi. I think Zubimendi is a really solid player. I think he will be useful for you. Just when I watch like how you play, I'm wondering if Arteta's plan is not to use like Zubimendi, Rice, and Odegaard as his like midfield three. And at
But
that point, I am wondering if wait,
Michael,
just let me finish the thought, right?
no, let's just ask
Uh,
you a question because
yeah,
I, I agree with you what you're saying, but quickly the naysayers will say great signing, but they're in a title race now. Like Zubimendi is coming in the summer.
Mari, Mari, I'm not sure if it was like me getting like an internet disconnection or you, but I didn't hear it like what you said in the last
Oh
like
no! I'm like
15 seconds. Sorry.
the naysayers, like because Arsenal's
Yeah.
they're also split like us, like this division. They're like, yeah, great signing, but that's the summer. We're in the title race now. How does Zubimendi help?
Like
Yeah.
I am just answering because Angus asked about it, right? I
Mhm.
think what the point I wanted to make was I think Rice, Zubimendi, and Odegaard isn't like particularly the most like creative midfield, if you get it right. You don't have that maverick profile of
Yeah.
player in there. So I'm just looking at that midfield and like I think you already right now have issues with creativity in the midfield, and I don't think Zubimendi fixes that. And I also don't think that pushing Rice into that number 8 role is a wise idea. I think Rice is a much better 6, and Zubimendi is a 6, right? So I'm not sure like what the vision is with that, right? So yeah, that's how I look at Zubimendi. I am sure we'll definitely talk about it when Stefan and Connor come in. So yeah, but with our business, right? I didn't know who Kinski is, but from the 2 games that we've seen from him so far, I am excited to see him play. I also want to like kind of tone down that like hype train that everyone is going on right now, because I feel like we as Spurs fans are so like pissed off with the performances of some of our players that we are doing like those grand statements and saying that we should sell Vicario now because we have Kinski. I would urge people to just calm the fuck down. I don't feel like Vicario is suddenly a shit keeper and we should like replace him with a 21-year-old Czech no one pretty much, right? Because he wasn't like a like a big star or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And same thing for me with like Poro and Udogi. I've seen people saying crazy things about Poro and Udogi and saying that Spence is this and Spence is that and whatever, right? Like I still think Poro and Udogi are quality players, and I think it's really good that we have a potential, rotation piece in Spence that is actually like of required quality. But I wouldn't say that it's like, Spence is suddenly now like the best wing back at the club, and and we should sell Poro or whatever, right? I think that's going way too far. So yeah, that's how I look at it, right? And I think we definitely need reinforcements, and I just hope that this club realizes that without reinforcements we will fucking struggle for the rest of the season, right? We need a midfielder, preferably. We need like someone in the forward line, and we need a center back, right, or a left back. And of course, I am not expecting them to get all of those positions filled in January, but I would expect them to make like 2 more signings at least, in my opinion.
Yeah. I will say this. A couple of things I thought about over the weekend, and one of my best friend is a huge Arsenal supporter, and we were just talking about our squads, and I'll say this, Spence these last 3 or 4 games, I give him credit that he's seizing the opportunity. That he's seizing the opportunity. I have to answer Coach Shot. It's on the way. A better microphone is on the way. New year, better microphone. It's on the way, Coach Shot. Thank you. It is definitely on the way. Gray. I'm gonna say this. Ian's not here, and my my best mate was saying, you got to give Gray credit for a guy that's not playing his natural position and stuff, because, and I'm trying to look at him very closely. And the last couple of games where he's handled the ball well, not handled the ball well, but I guess what I'm trying to say is I can see where Ian is saying that he has the ability.
Mm-hmm.
What gets me so mad is that if he was playing since the beginning of the year, the season, in the midfield and allowed to progress, make mistakes in the field rather than in the back, right? Where it's more severe, that this kid, there is some potential. And this year almost feels like it's not a wasted year because he's learning. He's actually learning. I'm confident that Gray coming in next season is going to shine, because like the stuff that he's had to go through this year as a young player, no young player should be able to go through that. And so for me, I'm looking at him. There was one sequence where I was like, "Oh man, Gray looks good on the ball," and so you can see that potential. Like if he plays in the midfield, that that we may have something there, but we get robbed of that because he's put in situations and he's learning, he's growing. Because when you're put in an unideal situation and you fail, the only thing you can do is improve.
It's learn.
Yeah. It's learn. And I think, I was just thinking that over the weekend. I'm like, shit situations that Ange has put him in is going to probably be a benefit to him later on.
Yeah. Yeah. So when I watch him play, right, I see a midfielder in him because of how comfortable on the ball he is, right? I don't think we particularly had issues with playing out of the back because of him. I think it was more Dragusin who was struggling with playing the ball out of the back. And I tried to defend him on plenty of shows when people were grilling him for like his defensive mistakes as a left back, right back, or center back, whichever role he played, right? because he wasn't necessarily like a natural player in those positions, and you could see that, right? But it's not his fault. The thing is, because we are saying every single time we are saying that he's a midfielder, he should play in the midfield, right? We actually don't know because we never saw him there. We never for once saw him there in the midfield, right? So we actually don't know how he would perform if he was put there. But I think there is a player there. I'm not saying there is like a world class, whatever, like a world class talent and all that. Just I think that's like a rash prediction to make. But I think we will have a nice tidy player out of him, and I just hope he gets plenty of time to develop his skills. And as much as I don't think it necessarily like benefits him to the fullest playing in that like center back or left back role, I still think getting game time and getting used to the pace and all that stuff in the Premier League, I think it's really useful for him, right? And same thing with Bergvall, right? Because I think both of them will benefit from this season in their growth, right? And with what type of players they become. But I'm just not sure with Gray that necessarily playing him as a center back helps him develop, like, the center mid skills, right? Yeah. Yes, he is playing with the ball at his feet, but it's a different role than what he gets to play as a six, right? Yeah. Big up, Connor, by the way. Long time no see,
big ups.
Connor, I was gonna wait. We'll start with the big news for you guys and wait for Stephanie to come in. But I could start off with this question that I told Michael that good signing in regards to, and it's not official, but it seems that's close with Zubimendi. But here's the question. What does that do for you now in the title run? Like, is he like you guys need a striker? You guys need a winger? Like,
well, it does absolutely nothing, Mari, because he's not coming till the summer, so it means absolutely zero. I believe personally, even though I'm very happy with the deal, it screams PR to make everyone happy. The fact that we've been knocked out of the FA Cup and also knocked out, or pretty much knocked out of the Carabao Cup. So I do see it as PR personally. However, I am happy with the deal. It kind of makes me laugh the fact that we've had to go in twice to actually get the better midfielder out of Sociedad. We've had to get the shit one first, and now we've actually had to go back and get the better one. But in all honesty, in terms of Zubimendi, I'll ride that wave because personally, everyone wanted him. Chelsea, Liverpool, and United wanted him. So I'll happily, take him because he's clearly wanted by a load of teams. No, sorry, it was City, not Chelsea. It was City, Liverpool, and United. So the fact that we've been able to get a hold of him is fantastic, and I like that he'll replace Thomas Partey and Jorginho at the end of the season because they're both going to leave. And I think he replaces both of them. I think he's a whole player that can just replace both of them. I do kind of listen. I'm not a big fan of Mikel Merino, but I do think he's a good squad player. I think he'd be good for the bench. I just don't think he's good enough for a starting 11 position, but you never know, over time could get better. But I think the signing of Zubimendi really solidifies our midfield. I would like to see him. I know he is a 6 predominantly, but again, I think Declan Rice doesn't fit the 8 fantastically. I think even he said himself, I think he fits the 6 a lot better. So I wouldn't mind maybe seeing Zubimendi in an 8. I mean, unless we play with 2 DMs, like we'd go back to maybe a 4-2-3-1. I'd prefer to see that. Instead of just having the one holding DM, but that kind of restricts us going forward. But we need to wait and see who we sign up front next because that has to be priority this window. It's been said around that apparently we're getting a striker, so even Zubimendi away, he's going to make no difference to our season. I really wish we'd bring him in because I think he'd really bolster us for the end of the season, especially in terms of the league because obviously Nottingham Forest could be drawing to Liverpool tonight, so that could be a big boost. And having someone like Zubimendi, in my opinion, would be a better replacement for the majority of our midfielders at the moment. So it's a shame, but I think the player wants to stay with Sociedad this season. I think he wants to finish this season. I mean, they are still in the Europa League, so maybe he wants to go ahead and try win that. They're no way going to win the Liga this season, so maybe it's to do with that. But personally, it does nothing for our season. It's for next season, so it's let's go again next season. That's what it's for, really. I think it's possibly an excuse to keep Arteta here for longer because if Zubimendi comes next season, it's like, oh, but Arteta chose him, so like he's got to be next season for that. So in my opinion, we've got to look for a striker. And Angus personally, I mean, for me personally, Maury, to answer your question, what would benefit us for the season? It is obviously that striker in January, and we've been linked constantly all over Twitter from the last and Sky and all these different places that Arsenal are now looking for a striker since Gabriel Jesus' injury, his ACL. I do hope he recovers from that. Listen, I'm not a big fan of Gabriel Jesus, but when you pick up an injury and an injury like that, I wish them all the best, because that is just a tough one to come back from. And yeah, that's not good. So, I mean, in a sense, it's bittersweet, because I think his injury has actually finally woken up Arteta to the fact that we actually need a striker. Because I think if Jesus was still available, not that I wish an injury on any player, no way, because I thought we would still need an attacker even if Jesus was fit. But I think the fact that he's now injured has made Arteta realise, shit, I actually need an attacker. So I'm glad in the sense that we've actually now gone out and now are actually looking at an attacker. Personally, I think we're not going to obviously sign a big £100 million attacker this window, or 80 million. It's not going to happen. Just on the benefit of you rarely see stuff like that. Even though City have signed Mamouche for 80 million, but I don't see Arsenal doing that. I see Arsenal getting in a loan for 6 months, maybe with an obligation to buy if Mikel Arteta loves them that much and they want to get him for next season. That's what I see us doing, personally. Striker. I don't see us getting a winger. Maybe, I don't know, but I see us going for a striker, because that's all over the news at the moment.
Same.
And with Vlahovic, I'm 50-50. I'm not 100%. But honestly, I'll take anyone at this point, man. I need someone that can score from 1 yard out, because Sunday was a joke. And I need at least someone who can tap a goal in. So if that's Vlahovic, I'll have to take Vlahovic for 6 months. So we need that striker.
Is Marmoush confirmed? Because you said that they signed him.
It's not. It's not.
It's not, right? It's not yet.
I think it's pretty much done, though.
They're going after him.
It's not 80 million. It's like 60. They're like still agreeing the fee, but supposedly it's a matter. They're gonna agree. He wants to leave. They're offering big money for him, so I mean,
well, wouldn't he be a backup? Really?
That's the thing. I think he's the Alvarez replacement, because Marmoush is exactly how Alvarez plays, kind of like off a main striker, and he can play on the wing.
They've missed Alvarez this year.
They have.
Especially with Atletico. You see what he's doing.
Even though I did think Alvarez was a bit overrated, because I thought he's a great finisher, but you take away his finishing, what is he actually?
Well, his goals ratio for time, the minutes played, was very, very good.
No, that's what I mean. His finishing and his shooting, top class.
But I told people a year before he started barking that was going to happen. I watched TYC Sports of Argentina. He believed that he's a starter, so he wasn't going to stay at City that long.
No, I mean, to go to play for Diego Simeone, where you're pretty much guaranteed every game a start, and no matter what Alvarez did for Man City and how valuable he was, he's never going to be the main guy.
I think the issue with the best Alvarez performances were when they were playing he wasn't necessarily like a 10, but he was playing like in that space around Haaland. I think when he was
Thomas Muller role.
I think when he was playing like as a lonely striker, as a 9, when they tried to substitute Haaland with Alvarez, I think it wasn't working, right? And right now, if I remember correctly, Atletico plays 3-5-2, right? So he is playing in a pair with Sorloth, right? I think the guy's name was
exactly.
Sorloth, right? He's performing really well there, right? So I think Marmoush can possibly fulfill that role. So I think it's a good signing, and I also think that listen, I have only seen the highlights of Kusanov, right? I think is the name of the guy they signed.
I'm not. This is a complete panic buy, in my opinion.
I'm
not high on this.
I don't know too much about him. I will say this, and then go on to the next subject. What Julian Alvarez was also too, he was a hybrid for them offensively. And so the weird thing is, because people complain about Haaland not being a hybrid, but if you go back to Borussia Dortmund, Haaland was everywhere. He was actually everywhere. So the ridiculous question is: has Pep in a weird way affected Haaland's game because he's such a system?
No, it's just
a system.
He's not
at
a
Bristol,
system player. Haaland is not the type of player that's going to take the ball, dribble past 3 players.
Yeah.
And
no,
Haaland is the guy.
He did some of that at Dortmund, though. That's the funny thing. He did do some of that at.
But what, like, Haaland kind of reminds me to a much lesser degree. But when Spurs were really crap and Harry Kane would have to like drop into defensive midfield so he can get the ball. If you can't get the ball to Haaland in the penalty area, there is, Haaland is not, like, let's be honest here, Haaland is not a very good footballer, like in terms of technical level. He's the best striker in my opinion in the world.
He's a poacher.
No, he's not just a poacher. He's just an incredible physical like specimen. He's fast, he's massive, he's a ridiculous finisher. But if you can't get the ball in the box for him, what's the point of having him on the pitch?
I would agree with you, but literally someone said that, and then I went and looked back, and I was just like, oh, they actually
Mari, but it was quite some time ago, right? I think he was like younger, a bit smaller. Like Bundesliga is a much different team, right? I watch Bundesliga from time to time, and trust me,
it's not very good.
Or at least like defending in Bundesliga is
a joke, right? The defending is a joke.
So like the level of defenders, it's much different than it is in the Premier League, right? But I to kind of like piggyback of that point that you made, right? I as a Polish Spurs fan was asked like recently about like comparing Lewandowski and Kane and which one is better, and whatever, right? And I think you can kind of make a similar point with Lewandowski and Haaland, which I said that, for example, when you look at like the Jose or Conte team, right? I don't think Lewandowski or Haaland suit that team at all because they are like more of a poacher, in the box striker, and we had just shit quality around them, right? I think Lewandowski does much. Wait, because I think Lewandowski does much more like link up play than Haaland, right? But I still think Kane is on another level to him, right? But I think Lewandowski and Haaland are just like clinical, absolute, like top draw finishers, right? So when you add them as a piece to a well-functional team, I think they are that like finishing piece, right? Whereas I think Kane was more useful for that Jose or Conte team because we needed someone to elevate the rest of the team because the rest were shit, right? And Kane was applying his skills of like linking up the play, the passing, the dropping back, and all that stuff. I think in that sense he was more useful, right? So I'm not saying that Kane can't do that role. I still think that Kane is a wicked finisher, right? But I think it's fine margins when you compare those players, right? So as I said, for Jose or Conte Spurs team, I think Kane was a better fit, right? But for Manchester City or Bayern, I think Lewandowski and Haaland are a bit of a better fit. I'm not saying that Kane wouldn't like slap 40 in a season, right? For those teams, but I just think like Lewandowski and Haaland are a bit more like clinical, typical number 9 type of a player rather than Kane, right? Kane, we often called him like 9.5.
But
so like
wow,
he was
okay.
a bit like.
But I know obviously you're saying, Mihal, that Kane isn't clinical, but surely you
he's clinical though.
He is clinical. I just think that Lewandowski and Haaland are like
a little bit more
level in terms of
the common denominator I always see with these type of strikers. I mean, look, they're tall, they're physical. They're big, strong players. It's a classic striker where you do have to feed the ball to them. That you can't expect them, like Stefan said, do crazy tricks and all this kind of stuff. These type of strikers, anyway, you do see a lot of the time you do need to feed them the ball, and then they'll work with it, and then they'll 9 times out of 10, sometimes even 10 times out of 10, the way Haaland looks with his stats, get you the goal. Probably not this season though. They're the type of strikers that, in my opinion, they are the best of the best. Even though the way they play, they can't always benefit you, especially if you are playing a pressing system. I saw a lot of times, like I don't know if I'm wrong here. I feel like I'm correct, especially with Harry Kane. Harry Kane pressing, you'd get something better out of someone out of your local Sainsbury's or Tesco.
Connor, no, that's harsh. He used to press, then he got the terrible ankle injuries, and he said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna destroy my body if I continue to press and play exactly the same I was." So he decided, it's kind of like Mario will get this example. LeBron James in basketball, in his first 10, 12 years, he was easily one of the best defenders in the league. But as he got older, he started saying, you know what? I don't need to defend as hard as I used to, where I was pretty much one of the best defensive players. It takes too much on my body, and by the time the playoffs hit, I'm dead. So he stopped defending as much. And I think Kane is very similar. I would strongly disagree with Michal about how I think Haaland will be perfect at that. I actually think Haaland's style of play, the best style for him is counterattack. I think Haaland is best when he runs into
He's quicker as well. He's quicker out of all three of them, in my opinion.
No, in my opinion, for Napoli,
even in their prime,
Conte having Haaland would have an absolute
orgasm. I was talking more about like Conte Spurs right? Maybe. So I was like talking only about like Jose, and because like that's where I saw Kane the most, right? And I feel like that there were plenty of games where Kane carried that team, like just put the whole team on his shoulders and did everything. Like the best example I can give is that City game where we won 3-2, right? And pretty much everything went through Kane. He did everything, right? I don't necessarily see Haaland or Lewandowski doing that, or at least to that extent, right? So that's the point I make. And by the way, because like Rob Frank said about like Haaland missing chances. Yeah, Haaland misses plenty of chances, right? But that's because he's more of a poacher and an inbox striker. So he gets like 8 shots a game or 9 shots a game. Whereas Kane, with the way he plays, he will get like 3 chances, right? But the chances might be like of similar quality. So the way I look at it is, as I said, I think Kane elevates the team around him a bit more, right? I think, and you said about like the counter-attacking style, Stefan, right? I think Son was kind of doing that role for those Spurs teams, right? So we needed someone to be the guy that lays off the ball to Son, and Kane was that guy, right?
Yeah, sorry to interrupt, but remember before that you had that somebody, so Kane didn't need to drop in what Connor says.
Right? Exactly.
You had Eriksen, and so Kane could stay in the box. Son could still make his runs off of Kane because Eriksen could spray the actual passes. The problem is that I honestly when I listen to Spurs fans talk about Eriksen, I'm really shocked because I don't think he's as highly rated as he should be from Spurs fans. Like
Eriksen is the reason why I support this team. Like I think Eriksen is
for me when you were at your best, he was, in my opinion, apart from Kane, I would say he was your most important player because he built up play for your whole team along with Dembele and stuff. But Eriksen, whenever I hear Spurs fans talk about when they were under Poch, when they were good, I always hear Dembele, I always hear Kane, I always hear Son. I never hear Eriksen for some reason. I even hear Vertonghen, Alderweireld. I never hear Eriksen when people talk about. And for me, Eriksen, I remember the only player that created more chances than him in Europe when Eriksen was at his best was Ozil.
No, to beat Spurs, honestly, if you cut off the route, which was Eriksen, you had a good chance of beating us. No, you're absolutely right. I think the way Eriksen left soured some people, and that's why Eriksen's never talked about like,
but he had the right. He had the right to leave because
Eriksen was one of my favorite players on like the team. Like Eriksen is like the heartbeat of that Poch season. Eriksen was the key. You stop Eriksen, you stop us for the most part.
No, he was awesome.
The way Eriksen left, and people then he had that heart thing. I think people got soft on, but not a lot, but I know a couple people that would say, because Eriksen kind of.
Wait, Connor, but correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't Eriksen 6 months before January, before he left to Inter, didn't he tell the Spurs board, "Sell me. I'm not going to sign a new deal"? And I think
And
Was
then
it Man U? Wait, was it Man U that put in like 50, 60 million and Levy still said no?
Yeah, said no.
How is this Eriksen's fault?
You literally watch it in the documentary how stingy Levy was with Eriksen. Even in January, you could see how stingy he was. But they sat down. It was him, Jose, and Daniel Levy.
That was
they
so
all
staged.
sat down, and you could literally see. And Eriksen was so chill about it. He respected Tottenham and everything about them. But you could see Daniel Levy was literally taking him for a prick. Just quickly, what you mentioned earlier, about how you never really hear Eriksen, which is kind of crazy. I think the season was the Battle of the Bridge 15-16, or was that 16-17? Because you finished behind
15-16.
Because the 16-17, even though you did finish behind Chelsea in the 16-17 season, that season for him was ridiculous. I think that was the season you were on about, Stefan, where he got 23 assists, like 22 assists.
Yeah.
He was a beast in that season.
But you never
in the couple seasons after that, he was still really good.
Yeah.
But that was like his prime season.
No, he was good. He was good for. I can even make an argument that Eriksen was better for a longer period of time than Dembele. Dembele was good. If you look at Dembele for 2 seasons, guys, I know you guys rave about him. He was good at an elite level for only 2 seasons, and then injuries broke him. And then where did he go? China, was it?
China in 18-19.
Whilst Eriksen continuously created.
What you're saying is also what Daniel Levy does so well, right? He knows how to make certain players, certain coaches, certain people the enemy with the fan base, because our fan base lap things up. They lap this up. Hear Sava speak earlier about, and we'll get to this before we start talking about Wednesday's game. Sunday, right? Oh, we survived. It's okay. We moved on. But those 90 minutes was the worst 90 minutes. I have to put it up here as the worst 90 minutes of my Spurs fandom.
Tamworth?
Tamworth.
It had to be one of the worst 90 minutes. Like, literally, like, it was worse. Literally, we could have lost that game if it wasn't for Basuma. Like, that performance was so terrible. I mean, my student came up to me because I wouldn't think he would watch an FA Cup game. He's like, dude, what's wrong with your Spurs, man? They struggle with a non-league team. And all over ESPN, like, it made headlines, right?
You went through. Mark, you went through. Arsenal went out on penalties.
It's a problem. It is a huge.
And they could have. The funniest thing ever was they could have won it at the end.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
If that guy had passed the ball across the box, they would have won that game at the end. But but Zubimendi made the save. Literally made the save today. No, it is, and it's
so like he slips and like I forget. Well, why would I know the guy from? Because these guys are farmers, plumbers. Zara.
No, the man of the match was a sales assistant from Zara.
Yeah.
The fuck?
Yeah, the winger is.
We're talking about Tamworth.
Yeah.
The guy that spun Saar was like a bricklayer.
Not a hydraulic.
No. He was a surveyor.
A plumber,
he was a surveyor, or something like that. He was something like that. And I'm like, the guy that
the goalkeeper was a surveyor.
I don't know what
the winger was the Zara shop assistant, and
the goalkeeper literally had a baby the night before and worked the next day, and he's out here putting it. He was. Do you know what? I know obviously they lost in the end, but he was solid, man.
But Connor, the winger kid, the kid that was the winger, the Zara sales assistant, he actually he spun Poro 2 or 3 times. Like he actually spun him
throughout the game. I'm like sign this kid up. You
know what with the Tamworth game, right? If I just take my Spurs hat off, right, I actually think it was a fucking wicked game. Like, I'm not gonna lie, the whole spectacle, and I'm not only talking about like the 120 minutes of football, I'm talking about like everything around it. Like the way the Tamworth fans were taking the piss out of our players and touch, the way they were fixing the net with a tape, right? The way, like,
classic, that's classic Sunday league.
Yeah, they had a guy. Wait, Mari, they had a guy named Tom Tonks in the middle, right?
Yeah,
And his only attribute was just throwing the ball into the box, right? It was an absolute wicked,
almost scored.
FA Cup tie, right? Yeah, almost scored from it. To be fair, right?
That winger, Porro, he gave him a proper good.
Porro by the end of the game looked tired.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
That winger was rapid.
No, and then the only reason why he stopped running at Porro was he kept his hamstring was tight the whole around the end of the game, and Porro really was like huffing and puffing, and there was the number 9 for Tamworth was just like him and Dragusin. If they could have fought after the game, they probably would have, but he didn't look out of place, the number 9. Like he won a lot of battles with Dragusin. They really played completely all out, and I don't know if it was them playing to literally above their maximum or you guys just being shit. Like I can't.
Honestly, because like a lot of people put focus on Johnson and Turbo Anker for the
Johnson
performance,
was
right?
so shit.
Yeah, but I want to say I think Porro was the worst player on the pitch. I kid you not, and I actually love Porro, right? I think he's a wicked footballer, but the performance that he put on against fucking Tamworth, of all teams,
he was playing the victim a lot. He was playing the victim a lot.
He lost the ball 45 times. Like fucking hell.
I disagree, Michael. Did you know who I think was the worst person on the pitch? Not because performance-wise, maybe you're right. Porro, because he got spun by a fucking 5th division winger, and Brendan Johnson was like putting crosses into outside of the stadium.
The worst on the pitch.
But for me, the worst player based on his attitude the whole game was Madison. The amount of times he kept falling on his ass and moaning.
I thought he was the only way they get back into the game at one point.
No, he was good on the pitch, Connor, in terms of you could see he has quality on the ball. But the amount of times he kept falling, complaining to the ref, even the Tamworth players were taking the piss out of him.
I thought Werner was the worst. I thought he was absolutely atrocious.
No, Werner was horrendous. But in my opinion, the attitude that Madison showed the whole game, the casualness, the way he was, I know he's a Spurs player, and you guys think I can see why none of the big clubs looked at him. No, only Newcastle tried.
I thought we were
nobody touched him in terms of they put in a bid, and I can see why. Because of not because he has a lot of ability. He can easily play for the top 6 teams.
Maybe he's upset at Ange.
I think he's a good player. I just
he's a good player, but there is attitude issues with
Sancho. Guys,
I agree.
Sancho is a tremendous player, is a tremendous talent. So is Joao Felix, but they're divas. I don't want them on my team. They're soft as hell, and so is Madison. Because whenever things get tough, and Spurs and Leicester fans warned you about this. I think it was Wayne Haaland who came onto the show. He's like, when things are going well and he's in the groove, he's one of the best players in the Premier League. You think he's amazing, but whenever things when things hit the shit, he always disappears. He never shows up. And if you remember all the games that went to shit, Leicester away, the first game of the season where you were 1-0 up, he completely after they equalized, he disweigh Brighton away when they came back. He's not.
And then we go to our neighbors, Arsenal. And
I don't want to talk about it.
In a couple days,
I do.
and I thought our fan base is divided, and we're both at the same spot. And I actually listened to what Turkish said after the game, and it was funny enough. I actually, someone said this, and I was like, it's almost like talking about Spurs, in a way, in regards not where we're positioned, because, like I said, you guys are second, and we're now 13th, and we could be 15th.
West Ham won, right?
And and United plays Southampton. And Crystal Palace also plays a team that they should be, and we could be 15th tied with Crystal Palace, which I've never seen in my lifetime supporting Spurs being this low. I was supporting them in the 90s, so I don't know. But Yeah, no, so, yeah, Sava had said it, and the last 3 or 4 games, it's and then now losing Jesus, but also it's just though I know you missed the opportunities, but it's weird. It's almost like the mentality of your team, Arsenal, is like almost like the if you're gonna win you're a title race, you want to be hungry. And I saw bits of the Forest game and look at these players. I'm like, man, they're hungry. They believe they can beat Liverpool. And I know they got a draw, but it seems like Arsenal has lost that hunger. Is that coming from Arteta? Is it the players? And I think that's the big divide. What happened on Sunday in these last couple of games with?
Can I just start?
Yeah.
Like we can say Arsenal. Okay. First of all, Arteta doesn't. Arsenal had in the last 2 games that we have lost 49 shots.
9 shots. Yeah.
We have scored 1 fucking goal. We have had an XG of 8.3, scored 1 goal. Okay. We have had, let me check, 12 shots on target, scored 1 goal again. Oh, and on top of that, we had a missed penalty. And we still scored 1 goal. Arteta cannot score these chances. Sometimes you just get in a funk. And no matter how bad and how non-specialist, as Connor would like to point out, that we don't have finishers, I'm sorry. 49 shots, 1 out of 49, no matter how fucking shit the finishers are, you will score more than this on average. So I think it's an anomaly because previously to those games, we scored 3 away to Brentford. We scored 5 away to Palace, which is a very difficult place. We scored 3 against Nottingham Forest at home. So we can score goals. I don't think they've lost hunger. I think they're just tired. Look at Liverpool. Look at last year. But wait, just to finish.
Yeah.
Liverpool have had, you also need a bit of luck to win the league title. You need your key players to actually stay fit. Arsenal's irreplaceable players are 2. By irreplaceable, I mean not necessarily the best players, but the ones that you don't have a direct replacement for. Spurs, arguably, was Vicario. Maybe now your new keeper is different. Arsenal's were Odegaard and Saka. Odegaard was out for the first 3 months, okay? And Saka is now out probably until March or April. One of the best players in the Premier League and our best player and best attacking player. Now, I want you to think, just to provide a comparison. What happened to Liverpool 4 years ago when they lost Van Dijk? They almost didn't get top 4 because he was their irreplaceable player. And now let's bring it 1 year back. What happened to Liverpool when Salah didn't get injured but dropped form last season in March and April? Liverpool capitulated in every single competition, including the league.
I think he also was injured before that, right? I think.
I think he was injured, but then he came back all of the games in March, and then he had that fight with Klopp on the sidelines. His form cratered, and Liverpool went to shit. So you can look at it from that perspective. No team. Look at another most recent example. Look at how Man City look without their most irreplaceable and key player. They're horrendous this year. Kyle Walker is going to Saudi. They're signing fucking 19-year-olds from Uzbekistan and Brazil. Okay. So it's not, you need a little bit of luck. Liverpool have not had any of their key players injured. And by key players, I don't mean Jota. I don't even mean Alisson, because Kelleher, I would argue, has been better than Alisson for a year and a half. What I mean is Salah and Van Dijk. Arsenal have had both of their key players out now on long-term injuries.
Yeah,
and this
also Gravenberch
and just the final thing before I give the floor. This garbage that Arteta's defensive. Last season, Arteta's team has scored the most goals in the Premier League era. At the same stage of last season, which was historic, Arsenal have scored more goals than last season at the same stage this season and have conceded less.
Which is weird because
it's not, Mari. It's our fan base. They're fucking morons that don't
No, but even as a neutral, it seemed like you guys were more offensively exciting, and maybe because Saka is gone, because even some of the fan base, as many chances, they were like, that game was boring before the red card, the dumb red card by Dallo. Like it's like, and that's why last week when you were saying we're in the same position of last season now, I get the numbers show that, but it doesn't feel that way. It maybe
I know it doesn't. But if you look at it in retrospect, last season at this stage of the season, we had the same amount of points, but we were third, okay, not second. We had scored less goals and conceded more. And not only that, if you look at because this is what they don't have, which pisses me off in British sports, they don't have strength of schedule where they analyze it with percentages like they do in the NBA and in the NFL. Arsenal's strength of schedule this year in their first 20 games has been far harder than the strength of schedule last season at the same point. So Arsenal have actually done better based on the actual placement of teams. If you look at it, like if you analyze it. And on top of that, what my argument to Connor is wait, because the final thing I'm going to say is Liverpool, Arsenal's final 19 games are 11 at home and 8 away. 2 of those away games are away to Anfield and away to Forest. The other 6 games are the bottom 6. The other home games are that. Liverpool is the opposite. 11 away games, 8 home games. Yeah. And those 11 away games are, and I'm going to list them for you. Nottingham Forest, the three away games that they have played this season against the top 10 place teams, they have dropped points. They have drawn 3 times. The remaining away games that they have, let me list you. Away to Chelsea, away to Man City, away to Bournemouth, away to Brighton, away to Aston Villa, away to Brentford, where they are shit. They've been shit for the last 2 to 3 years. They really struggle there. Let me think where else. Away to Brentford. There's others, but they have super difficult away games that are coming up. Super difficult. So, and if Arsenal win tomorrow, it's only 4 points. People forget last season in mid-February, Arsenal were 5 points behind when we played them and beat them at home. And then they lost their way. So people need to relax. Let's see how things go. There's still 10 days from the transfer window. I pray to God Connor is right that we sign a fucking striker. Please. I would take anybody also. Connor is right. Just give me we need a body now. Jesus is out. Jesus is out for the season. He's out for an ACL. We need somebody. We need somebody. The only positive from the Man United game was that Sterling actually looked good. Sterling looked okay. He took on his man. He looked okay. So that's the only positive for me. But I really hope it's Vlahovic, guys, because I love Vlahovic. Give me a Balkan striker any day of the week, please. Give me Sesko. Give me Vlahovic, please.
Yeah, I mean, if Saka gets back, I mean, he puts the ball at his feet.
No, it's only that.
Vlahovic will score. I mean, no.
It's not only that, Mari. Balkans and South Americans have this arrogance about them. They have this confidence. Yeah. They have this aggression. If you watch from Forest, the center back from Serbia, that's a typical Balkan style player. He plays with fight, with aggression.
I'm the shit attitude, right? I'm the shit. Yeah. I'm the one.
Right? You're not gonna fuck with me. You're not gonna try and bully me. I'm gonna bully you. That's the type of mentality which European strikers I think today don't have in general, like West, especially German, English, and stuff. Even Kane, for example. Kane's an amazing player, but does he have that
dog?
Yeah, he just doesn't.
Yeah, that's what me and Box Office, a fair few have been saying. I mean, and I said, look, if I take off my Spurs glasses, I'm in a barbershop full of Real Madrid fans and Barcelona fans and Bayern fans in Miami, and Kane's good. But he just don't have that dog to cross the line.
Let me just wait. Let me just.
I say all the time, I get bashed, and I'm like,
Mark, comments wise. Let me just answer. Ella, that's true. Shkodran Mustafi was Albanian, but he was Albanian, but was born in Germany, raised in Germany. It's not the same thing. It's really not. It's just not. Vlahovic is from Belgrade. He's from Partizan Belgrade. He played in the big Serbian derby. Vlahovic has it.
He wrestled bears in the forest.
Yeah, it's like Lewandowski. Look at he came from Wisla. He came from Wisla, right?
No, I like. If you want to really get into details, I think he came from Znic Prushkov, which is like a small team. I think that he went to Lech Poznan. I actually have to check because I don't remember. But
I like players. I like South American strikers and Balkan strikers. For me, because they just have that.
He went from a small Polish club to Lech Poznan, and from there he went
Poznan.
To,
Lech Poznan is a massive club. There's a massive derby. They fucking hate each other. It's much more intense than any other atmosphere that you ever play. And he knows how it is, because if you're the main guy in those derbies, Mari, it's like Boca Juniors and River Plate. If you're the main guy for Boca Juniors, the River Plate center back is gonna try and break your leg during the game. That's exactly what. Literally. Yeah. So he's tough.
So, we come on to tomorrow's game.
Whoa, Mari, can I give my?
I want to talk about that United game.
Stefan speak. I'm not said a word on the basis that Stefan doesn't say a word.
I didn't interrupt you.
So go, Connor.
No, but we've made a deal. I haven't said a word through what you just said for the last 10 minutes. Which some of that I agree, some of that I don't. So I am now asking you to not interrupt me with what I'm about to say. Deal?
That's fair.
Let's go. So, listen, I think, I did see some comments, like there's been a lot of overreaction the last couple of days. And the rebuttal I have to that is, if it was the league, or if it was like, the only reason I'm saying there was a bit more rebuttal the last couple of days is the fact that we've practically, because I feel like I don't think we're going to score 3 at St James's. We've practically left 2 cups in the space of two games. So a lot of fans are angry about that. And I'm part of that because I really, really wanted to win the FA Cup or the Carabao Cup this season. We could still win the Carabao Cup, but on the basis of what we're doing up front at the moment, I mean, we can see what happens in a month. We haven't got them till, I think, we haven't got them for a while. So we could
February, Connor.
So after the window, so you never know. We could do a madness, but I'm not hopeful. But anyway, so that's the reason why I'm pissed off, because I wanted to win the FA Cup this season, and I really wanted to win the Carabao Cup as well because we were so close to it. And I thought we could beat Newcastle, but it didn't happen. So that's why I think there's been a lot of people that have been pissed off the last couple of days. Now, the way I see it personally, with the United game, listen, yes, Mikel Arteta, he can't control what the players do. You can't control what Kai Havertz done. Kai Havertz had a monumental stinker, and I think that was bound to happen, in my opinion, because I've never been the biggest fan of Kai Havertz. I think it now shows, from that performance the other day, that we do need that clinical number 9 now. I'm all for having Havertz as part of the squad, as a squad player or wherever you want to put him, but I think he is more useful to us currently off the bench. I just think he is. I think we need someone that will be more clinical than him. So that in the last couple of days, the reason I think there's been a lot of overreaction is because we've been knocked out of 2 cups that we've wanted to win. That's why I think there's been a lot of overreaction.
Connor, technically it's 1. We can still come back in the league.
Brother, okay, please, come on. Are we really going to score 3 at St James's? Plus, if we can see,
we don't need to score 3, Connor. We just need to score 2. It needs to finish 2-0.
And then go to penalties.
And you never know.
Not against United, man. But you get my drift, innit? Not everyone expects us to lose 2-0 at home to Newcastle. We thought we'd have the upper hand, and we didn't. Now, I'm not going to let off the fact that Saka is injured. You can see the difference in the team now that Saka has gone, which I do agree with Stefan. I do agree with Stefan on that fact that, our best player has been taken out of the team. And I do agree with that. I don't expect us to be the best that we've been up front without our best player. So I'm not going to get that twisted. However, where I do point towards the manager is the fact of what he's got to give us as backup to that and what he's invested to put him back up to that, as well as up front as well. I've been calling the fact that we've needed this frontline attacker, clinical attacker that will get us through these hard games for so long. And where I do critique Arteta is Arteta had brought in Kai Havertz. He has brought in Raheem Sterling. You know, he has brought in these players that have played, and they haven't been good for us, you know. And looking at our window, you know, I can't believe I'm saying this because I did hate him for the majority of his time. But I fucking wish we had Xhaka at the moment, man. I really do, because I feel like we need...
You're such a flip-flop, Connor.
I know I am, but I know I am, because it's in the situation we are now.
He was the biggest Xhaka hater. Do you remember the shows 2 years ago?
It's because of the situation we're in now and the season where he left us. Of course, he had to be the best he could be the season where he left us, isn't it? You know, the first season when he joined and the season when he left. You know, the two that that really go in hand where he was really good. You know, I think Mikel Merino doesn't offer that. I'm sorry, I don't think he offers what we need. Now Zubimendi's coming in.
It's early.
It is early, but I think at the moment with what we need in the season, you know, we need that midfielder that again can go a bit less defensive, more going forward, offering more to the attack. You know, then again, when he played his first game for Arsenal, I thought Mikel Merino could be that. You know, when he got that header in, I thought, fuck, we could actually have a player that can go forward. But it hasn't been a season yet. I won't write him off. However, I'm not impressed with what's been so far.
Can I just add an anecdote for you? Mikel Merino missed our preseason. Came back, first training session, broke his shoulder, was out for 6 weeks. So he hasn't had a preseason and was injured for almost...
That's fair enough.
How do you expect him to hit the ground running?
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, he did score a goal straight away as soon as he came in. However, I do think he has been a little bit underwhelming for what I thought.
I agree.
So there's that. So what my point of the manager is, and he can make up for it in this January window, because a striker should have been signed, in my opinion, when we signed Havertz. I know Havertz has been there for Arsenal. There have been games where Havertz has shown up for Arsenal. And I'm not going to get that twisted. No, I'm not a complete Havertz hater. You know, I do look at the facts and I do look at the stats. There have been games where Havertz has turned up for Arsenal and he has not been what he is worth. Even reports did come out and say from the Arsenal board that it was a risk to bring him in. He wasn't. You know, even a lot of people can say we don't actually really know. I don't think even Kai knows what position he is. I don't think a lot of people actually. You cannot really sit down and say guaranteed what position Kai Havertz is. So I think it was a massive risk that we signed him. And I'm going to be honest and real, Stefan. I swear to God, we've done like 2 minutes, and you can absolutely hammer my opinion.
Finish.
I think it was a risk, and I don't think we should have signed him. I think we should have got that killer back then. Who he would have got, I don't know, because I'm trying to think of who would have been available
for me, Connor. We should have got a winger.
And that's another thing. You know, we look at our situation now. Saka's out, and you know, we too talk about Liverpool. You know, when Van Dijk was out, listen, you can't replace Virgil van Dijk. You can't. You know, you can't replace Rodri. But I'd have liked to have thought we could have at least had a better backup than Willian and Marquinhos over the years for Bukayo Saka. You know, that's the only thing I look at, and I'm thinking, Mikel, you've had all this money, you've had all this time. Fair play. I love majority of the signings that he's done with the defense. In obviously, you know, what we've got with Gabriel, Saliba, Timber. I want to see more of Calafiori. I think a lot of people are writing him off really quickly. I am on the side of the fact that I think he could come better. You know, there have been signings at the back that I do enjoy. Ben White as well, obviously. I think he's been really good as well. David Raya. Defensively, we've been good. It's like he's been focusing more on the defense than the attack. If you look at what he signed up front, it's been extremely good.
Even the number. But Connor, Connor, it's like it's the same thing as building a roster in the NFL. Every team has strength of depth in certain positions, and every team builds it to the cap where, holy shit, for example, we don't have as much strength and depth going forward now because of Saka and stuff. And even if Saka got injured, we have a really strong. I mean, hopefully, if Tomiyasu is supposedly back in full training, but Ben White should be back soon. If we have our full defense back and fit, we have the deepest defense in the league.
Our defense when we've got everyone available. It's fine. Yeah, I'm happy with it.
But we got injuries where I think it's very flimsy to say that the transfer strategy, because it's also down to luck. For example, you compare Liverpool. The equivalent of our injuries to Liverpool's is you take out Van Dijk and you take out Joe Gomez because of Jesus for the season. Because Joe Gomez is versed. I think he's shit, don't get me wrong. Just like people don't rate Jesus. But at least Joe Gomez can play right back, can play center back. Jesus can play. You take out Joe Gomez and Van Dijk from their defense that they have completely underspent in, and they have no replacements, they're screwed. And then we'll be having a whole topic about why did Klopp spend
However,
kind
Liverpool
of like
are known to underspend. Like we've seen it in years. There's no.
I disagree. They have the most expensive. No, they have spent. Klopp basically did what Wenger did towards the latter years of his tenure, which was spend almost only on attacking midfielders and attacking players, which Klopp did. They have the most expensive front line in the Premier League, Connor. Nobody has spent more on their forwards. Gakpo, 40 million. Nunes, 100. Diaz, 55. Who else?
Chiesa, the whole point I was trying to make was in terms of like moving away from Liverpool, because I'm talking about Arsenal here, not Liverpool. I'm not trying to compare both. The whole point I'm trying to make is, he's had this money, and don't get me wrong, Saka has barely been injured under Mikel Arteta.
It was very rare.
He's been pretty much here 24/7. We've always relied on him, and that's why he's one of the best wingers in world football because of the amount of time he's played. And I'll happily say that he's one of the best wingers in world football. But you've just got to look at what he's done up front, and we've got to be honest with it. And you can see it. He has heavily reinforced in the defense, which was good because the defense was absolutely shocking for the latter years of Wenger onwards to when Mikel Arteta first joined. We know what we had. We had Mustafi, Kolasinac, Socrates wasn't fantastic. We had who else we had?
Just remembering those.
Bellerin towards the end, he was awful after his injury. We had all this dross.
Remember? No, the worst one. You forgot the worst one. Lichtsteiner.
Oh, no, he had one season. No, let him off. He had that goal against Blackpool, man. Let him off, man. He was all right. No, I'm joking. He was awful. But do you know what I mean? So fair play. What he done with some of the money, he reinforced in the defense. Fair play. However, I think, yes, listen, we needed a full squad rebuild. We really did, and that's what we've practically got at the moment. I don't think there's anyone left from that FA Cup win apart from Tierney now. I think back in
Saka
and Saka.
So we needed
on the bench. On the bench.
So we practically what I'm trying to say is we practically got a full rebuild, right? So that's what we needed, and that's what I like to think we're towards the end on now because I think we need a striker, and then fingers crossed.
No, but if you look at building the way.
The point I'm trying to make is I think he's.
Yeah, I also want to say something about
the problem is, I guess my point now, he hasn't. I don't think we've prepared well. There's been so many times, and even you said it, Stefan. There's been so many times where we have been so lucky that Saka hadn't got injured before the injury he's got now, and we said we need that winger. We need that winger, Mikel, and he went into this window, and he got Raheem Sterling. Now listen. It may not have been his choice. He may have wanted more because we've seen in the news that Edu and him fell out multiple times over players, over transfers. So it may not have been Arteta's fault. But I do have to look at the situation of the fact that we don't know. So I've got to look at the case of we went into this window, we knew we needed an attacker, and we got Raheem Sterling. I'm sorry, it just isn't good enough. So there have been times when Mikel Arteta or Edu, whoever, but they were put in charge by the board as well. I'm going for the board as well here, not just Arteta. Yeah. There have been times where we have been we have been underwhelming in the window, especially up front. And listen, we have got the goals to show for it in the league. Don't get me wrong, we've broken records in the league. But at the end of the day, we don't have the trophies to show for it. And that's what I care about as an Arsenal fan.
But Connor, can I just...
So what I'm trying to say is, we've underspent.
No, just let me ask Connor. You say this right, but if, let's say, for example, we have tried to sign forwards. We tried to sign Kudus. We tried to sign Sesko. Sesko, did the right thing, I think, stayed in Leipzig. We tried to sign Rafinha, if you remember, 2 years ago. Look at what he's doing at Barca. We also tried to sign Vlahovic two and a half years ago also. If you can't sign your targets, would you spend big money on players that, let's say, weren't your top targets? Like, they're not even plan Bs. Connor. That's for me is where I think there's a really fine line where you have to be super careful.
Well, this clause less than Havertz's contract. Was he at 60? And Havertz?
Kudus?
Yeah, Kudus.
No, Kudus. We were interested in Kudus
the same
last summer.
Havertz.
Yeah, I mean, I would have signed Kudus. Kudus was signed by West Ham, I think, for 60 mil, if I'm not mistaken. 60 million euros or pounds.
They played the release.
I think it was a bit less. I think it was less. Like 40.
It was big. I remember it was big money. It was big money. But would I retrospect? Connor knows on his show for a year and a half of Cold, we need a winger. I didn't even think. Now I think the striker is just as much needed. But I always said we need another creative We need a winger with speed. And I forgot another player that we tried to sign. And thank God, I mean, I think he would have come out completely differently in Arsenal because the culture is shit at Chelsea. Is Mudryk. We also tried to sign. So I just named 4 attacking players that Arteta wanted, that Arsenal actively tried to sign, but they couldn't for different reasons.
We don't know. Listen, Sesko, yes, because it was literally said that he didn't.
Vlahovic too.
But listen, at the end of the day, you know, I've got to look at it in this sense, Stefan. You know, we're not. And listen, that's now me saying hypocritical, Connor. You don't know what Arteta wants in the ball. We could have gone in for an Mbappe. Arteta would have wanted Mbappe. We wouldn't have known. You know, we're going off news outlets here, so I've got to look at the fact of. Listen, maybe I am being a bit of a hypocrite here now saying this, but you know, we don't know if he really did want Vlahovic. Well, now we maybe did because we're going back from now. We don't know if he really wanted Rafinha. You know, until the players are in the club, you can't really say that he didn't want the player because, you know, by the looks of it, if he didn't want Raheem Sterling, he wouldn't have got him. You know, and the fact that we've barely played him this season as well. I know he was injured for a little bit, but the fact we've barely played him this season makes me think that he was brought in for a PR stunt. I think we were wanting to get a player. We don't know who, but he was brought in on deadline day. Well, no, he was actually brought in the day before.
Wait, Connor, for a PR stunt? What type of PR? Looking like shit, Connor?
Yes, because I think deadline day, we weren't signing. The player that we wanted to sign, whoever it was, wasn't coming. So we actually signed Raheem Sterling the day before deadline day. I think that was prepared for if we didn't sign anyone. Because Raheem Sterling isn't good enough for this point in our process.
I agree. I agree.
But it makes me think. But then you've got to look at it. I don't think Edu would have wanted Raheem Sterling. Mikel Arteta has worked with Raheem Sterling before, but you've got to look at the numbers. Raheem Sterling is nowhere near what he used to be. Why go out? And I know it's a loan. You know, we haven't spent like tons of millions of pounds.
We spent nothing on him. We literally was like a dry.
I know, but still. But you got to look at the fact and the basis. Why did we even bring him in? Like, what is this the level?
Because Arteta and the Cronkies look at it similar to what Liverpool do, which is if we don't sign a player that clearly improves our squad, and we are all 100% in on the scouting team, everybody, then it's a mistake worth. Look at. I'll give you an example.
Why?
We're comparing.
What's the point? Because he adds nothing.
I'll give you an example of what happens when one of those stakeholders within a club have too much influence. As you know, Liverpool lost their way the last 3 to 4 years because their main crux of decision making, they all resigned. Michael Edwards, who came back now, he left. His head of scout. So Klopp, just like Wenger towards the end of his reign, got far too much power. The scouts told Klopp to sign Nkunku. He was all in on Nunes. He wanted Nunes the most. They signed Nunes for him. Look, now they're somehow going to try and sell him. I don't know how they're going to be able to with the wages and with the money they paid. But that for me is, do I want Arsenal to sometimes just say, screw it, just spend the money and get someone in? Yes. But do I understand why they actually do this? I also do, because if you're not 100% sure on a product that is expensive, guys, then you're going to be dealing with the actual consequences later, like Arsenal did with Nicolas Pepe.
Yeah, if I can, right? If I can, on the whole, like Arsenal situation, because like one thing you said, Stefan, about the fan base being like not reasonable with the outrage right now. I kind of understand why there is such a reaction, right? Because I feel like this week that you've just gone through is kind of like a culmination of pent-up frustration with the club. I think it's not necessarily because of those like 2 results that you had this week. I think it's more about like the 2 title races that you've lost and you know, all the previous cup exits that you had. I kind of had a feeling when I was watching some of the reactions, right? Not gonna lie, I was kind of enjoying it, right? But yeah, but it kind of felt like there was like, you know, and just an outburst of everything that was wrong. And I had a feeling that plenty of you guys, not only you and Connor, but plenty of other like content creators and fans have been pointing out to certain like deficiencies that you had, like the lack of striker, the lack of backup for Saka, the lack of like creative midfielder to substitute for Odegaard and all that stuff, right? And I kind of have a feeling that some of your past results in like recent times have been because of those issues, right? Because Havertz isn't clinical, because you now don't have a replacement for Saka, right? Because he's injured, and now you are like, trying to shoehorn Martinelli on the right side, or just play Sterling, who isn't really like up to the scratch, right? So I kind of understand like the frustration, and I kind of understand why people are just, pointing fingers at everyone. And I also like understand a bit of criticism towards Arteta, because I think, like what Connor pointed out to, I think you have rebuilt your like defense and part of your midfield brilliantly. I think you have brilliant cover. Like, you have plenty of injuries in the backline, yet you don't really feel it, because you have like, a good talent coming from academy. You have Calafiori, Timber, Tomiyasu, White, like all those guys, right?
We got lucky with that. With my even though I thought Miles Kelly was a big talent and everybody knew, I didn't think he was this good. So
but he's
adding.
He's
and
adding.
Who said for ages, let's try giving these academy kids a player? Oh, Connor, that's a bad idea.
Wait.
Connor,
let me finish.
I said the same.
No, you didn't. You criticised me for saying I wanted to try the academy kids over the dross that we had. And Wanyeri is probably better than Marino, Sterling. Probably.
Calm down.
Yeah, but
first
of all, guys,
I said criticised for how long that Arsenal for academy players to come into this team to give them a shot. We've got 2 now.
Okay, I'm gonna answer you after Michael finishes.
Yeah. So I feel like, coming back to the point, I feel like you've kind of built parts of your team brilliantly, right? Where you look at your defense, your XG conceded is one of the lowest in the league. You don't concede goals really, right? You are solid at the back, even though you have injuries, whatever, right? I feel like your midfield lacks like maybe 1 or 2 players if you really like want to push it to the limit, right? If you really want to be like stacked in the midfield. But I have a feeling that your forward line has been massively like underappreciated. Sorry, that's a wrong word. Like, you haven't invested enough into quality players. Undervalued, basically, right? You haven't invested enough in those forward lines. No. And I see there are plenty of games where you just lack that finishing quality, right? And I think this is like the outburst is based on that, right? I think there are games this season where you can point to lack of finishing quality in the forward line, and I think there are games in past seasons where you were challenging for the title where you were lacking that finishing quality, right? So that's why I feel like the outburst is there. And also like, that's not only that, that's also like the cup exits, as I said, right? Since you won that FA Cup, you've been exiting cups really, really early, every single season pretty much, right? So I kind of understand that frustration, right? And I think winning cups like Carabao and FA Cup is a huge building block for teams. It teaches them how to win stuff. It breeds that. Like, I know those are kind of like buzzwords, the winning mentality and and all that stuff, right? But I have a feeling you would benefit massively even if you won like a Carabao Cup like 2 years ago or a year ago or even this year, right? And then you watch those games against Newcastle, right? And Newcastle, albeit against Newcastle and against United, I feel like you had chances. It wasn't like a sweep. Like, it wasn't like Newcastle and United came to your gaff and just swept you apart and you weren't like part of the game. I think those games were competitive. You just came out of the wrong side of the scoreline, right?
Yeah. If we replay both games, Arsenal win those games easily, based on the stats. Like,
yeah, I think that there are like alternate realities where you win those games, right? So it wasn't necessarily like you got wiped out, but I think those 2 games, the fact they were in the same week too, right? It's not like one happened at the end of December and the other happened at the end of January. I think it's kind of like,
no.
I think the reaction is kind of justified, right? And this North London derby right now, after those like pretty much 2 cup exits, right? I don't want to completely write you off, guys, in the Newcastle reverse fixture, but I kind of have a feeling you won't like, you won't win that, you won't push it, right? And you won't win that tie. But I have a feeling that this North London derby right now has a lot of like pressure on Arteta and on the squad because of those two results, right? And people like kind of feel uneasy, right? Because you lost to Newcastle at home, you lost to United with penalties, right? And now you come up against us where we aren't really much of an opposition, let's be honest about it, right? I am not going to be shameless and say that we are going to, win or whatever. But that there is a lot of pressure on that tie, right? There is a lot of pressure. And if you don't win against us, right, then I think again built up frustration will will bear fruits, right? And
Michael,
people will just lose their shit.
You just gave the perfect segue because people in the chat's like, all right, start the game. And I want to get to the game. Coming into this game, it is. I'm gonna say personally, it's hard to predict because I think both teams.
How is it hard to predict?
No. I'm just saying that it's you guys. You guys are not finishing your dinner, and so that means form goes out the window. So this game, what normally 4 weeks ago, I said, "Oh, we're gonna get smoked by Arsenal." Tomorrow, if I'm a betting man, I'm like, "Okay, Arsenal beats us," but I get a feeling that it's going to be a weird game. It could possibly be a draw, and I know we drew at your home. It was last season, and that's despite having shit Johnson.
That was last season. Was the worst game. That was the worst game Arsenal played.
And I understand. I get it. And then and
that was your best game.
And then we got kids in the back. Great bird ball. I mean, like literally all the recipes for an easy blowout victory, but then like it's like Stell said yesterday, like whenever I said we're going to get smoked, and then for some reason we put some type of performance. So that's why I say it's kind of weird, hard to predict because this our team. When we play a low block team, a terrible team, we are going to lose. But for some reason, when I say that, we're going to get smoked, I always end up looking wrong. And I'm glad that I'm wrong.
But that's Spurs, Mari. That's being a Spurs fan.
That's Spursy. Like
you beat Liverpool, you beat Man City 4-0 away, and then you lose to Ipswich at home 2-1. That's Spurs in a nutshell.
We beat Liverpool 1-0. And I'm telling you, I was 100% shocked. I didn't give us a chance. And so this team, it does that to me. So in my mind, my head, it says, we're going to get smoked. Especially, they got knocked out of the FA Cup. They're going to be pissed off. But then I look at Arsenal, and I'm like, you guys are playing down to your level. You guys not finishing your dinner. This is a recipe. And like I told you, Stefan, like, if we get a result tomorrow, it's gonna be nuts, especially the happy clappers. So it's that's why I say it's hard to predict. I have a prediction, but it's just weird because, like I said, in my head, I'm looking at the starting 11, despite having Saka and now not Sterling, Jesus gone. You still have a better squad than us by far. So
set pieces, Mari. Don't forget, you guys are very good.
Yeah, I know. So it's weird going in, But I'd be happy if we win. But I'm not. So
I would agree with you.
Thoughts, because like I said, tomorrow I just kind of like. It's kind of weird to predict, but I have a prediction. I'll give you the score. Actually, I'll give you my score. I have Arsenal winning 2-1. It's a close game, because it's just weird. It's just, because whenever I say that a team is going to smoke us, we actually play good. Actually, you know what? We're going to get smoked. I'm saying that so it can be a close game tomorrow. Because whenever I say that, Bryce, like whenever I say it, the opposite happens. So,
what's up?
Oh my God! Hey, breaking news: Spurs have bid for Newcastle's Lloyd Kelly.
Fuck
No,
yeah.
that's
What
not
the fuck are
true.
you guys doing?
No, that's not true. Where did
I'm
you
not
see
going to
that?
get into that. All right,
Oh my god,
come on.
Dietrich, long time no see.
I'll let Dietrich
I
start.
missed you, Connor.
Dietrich just
Dietrich.
came in. You just heard my spiel that tomorrow
Yeah, I heard.
I don't know what to predict because Spurs is Spursy. We're
Well, I'm the most negative. First of all, good evening, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well as always. Even you, Stefan, you're the biggest fraud on YouTube. But I still love you. I want to
Thank
say,
you. Thank you, Dietrich.
I'm the most negative person that you can ever meet. But I'm saying this right now. If we don't play that stupid, ridiculous highline, we will beat Arsenal.
What the fuck does
tomorrow.
that mean? You're always gonna play that high line.
No,
'cause it's Ange.
ridiculous. I said the ridiculous highline. With the ridiculous is the one he did with what's his name, Van de Ven or Merrill. We will beat you tomorrow. Arsenal
I don't
without
get where
Saka.
does this confidence?
I'm
Okay.
telling you this right now. Arsenal without Saka, with Partey that's gonna play in right back, and your
No,
midfield.
Timber's
And I
gonna-
even
he's
told you, no,
fine.
wait. You have no right to talk. I told you Mikel Merino is a freaking fraud and he's trash, and you didn't listen. And you told me, no, he
I
was good
disagree
with
with you.
space, he was this. No, he's crap. Okay? Martinelli is crap. Havertz is worse than freaking Richarlison. I can say that on stream,
No,
and I
he's not.
freaking hate Richarlison. And Timo Werner is injured, so alhamdulillah, I'm happy. I'm happy.
Expect that.
Alhamdulillah.
Okay. This is where I don't get. So since the Emirates Stadium was built and since Arsenal have played there, you have not lost more at another stadium than the Emirates Stadium. You have lost more at Emirates than you have at Stamford Bridge. You have a worse record at the Emirates. You have won in the league once in 2010. So in 20 years, you have won in the league once there. And whenever the derby comes up, I hear Spurs fans, before the last year's draw, you lost, I think, 4 games in a row at our place before that draw. So last year's draw was literally Arsenal's worst performance and Spurs' probably best performance of the season last year. Maybe Villa away was maybe better, and you still couldn't beat us there. So I just don't understand where this confidence comes from. And I'm going to tell you, eventually, with stats, the anomalies may continue to happen, but eventually it goes back to the mean. So Arsenal will not continue to miss, to score 1 goal from 49 shots. And I have a feeling tomorrow, because it is Spurs, things will go our way in terms of they will finish their chances from 5 yards. We won't miss penalties, shit like that. So, and the final thing, Dietrich, is it's hilarious because me and you were completely right about Ange. I said this from the get-go about his system. Everybody, even Connor was, against me on that. I said he was shit from the get-go. Dietrich was also agreed with me that this is never going to work long term. And Dietrich knows, and Michael and Mari, he's never going to change. He's going to go and play with a high line against Arsenal. He will.
No, if he plays the same way we beat Liverpool, we will beat you. I can promise you
Dietrich,
that.
you beat
wait.
Liverpool. You beat Liverpool because Liverpool in that game, let's be honest, you guys played well. But Liverpool were not at the races in that game.
But look at you. You guys are freaking shit, no offense.
Yeah,
Without Saka,
I mean,
without Saka, you're the worst team out of the top 6.
Okay, we're the worst team out of the top 6. So
No,
why are we
shit.
second?
We're not even
why
top
are we
6.
second then?
What do you mean second? Look at everyone's shit this season.
Everyone's
Chelsea-
shit this season.
City's having the worst season of their life.
Okay, Chelsea.
Chelsea's been
Weren't they?
inconsistent.
Weren't they 3 weeks ago better than us?
I never said that.
Chelsea has progressed.
I never said that. I always
What
said
did I tell you, Mari? What do I always tell you about this fucking Chelsea team? You never listened to me about that.
And who would
Shit
predict?
coaches.
No, you tell me you guys are. No, you say you're second. Actually, you're not second. You're third. First of all.
Yeah, with
Second
a
of all-
game, okay, because Forest are currently second.
Okay.
But they
And
played
explain to me how's Forest second in the league. I'm telling you, this year it makes no sense.
Because they have a very good coach that you
They
fired.
don't have a good coach.
You
They don't have a good coach. They just have a good defense, but they don't have a good coach.
Well, who coaches that defense? Because before he came, they were fucking relegation candidates.
Well, look what he did with Wolves. He had like almost
Yes,
similar
with
profiles, and he still
Wolves,
struggled.
he took them to European football. He left, and ever since he has left, Wolves have gone to complete shit, Dietrich.
But he's not a good coach. Stop it.
Of course, he's not a good coach.
The only team that's supposed to be higher is Newcastle and City.
Newcastle, before their really great run of 6 wins in a row, Newcastle were a shit show. They were 10th. What do you want about?
Newcastle is better than you.
So why are they 5th or 6th or wherever they are?
Okay, why did he beat you 2-0?
Because we couldn't finish our dinner.
But once again, that's why you will not beat us on
And it was
Tuesday.
also
Because you
we
can't
were,
finish
we were
your
very
dinner.
bad defensively that day as well.
Yeah, and tomorrow you're not gonna freaking finish your chances. I can promise you that.
Okay. And
Without
you're going to finish
Saka?
yours? Who's going to
Bro,
finish
do
yours?
you realize we average 2 goals a game? With the
Yes, but
shit forwards we have.
you also concede 2 goals a game. You do realize that, and can
No, I
defend
know.
set pieces, especially
Usually
against
yes.
us.
No, usually yes. But with you, without Saka, you will not score. Other than if we give you a lot of set
We
pieces,
will not.
you might
We will
score.
not score against one of the shittest defenses
You will
in the
not
league.
score tomorrow. Unless,
Mari,
unless,
I
unless
biased.
it's a corner. No, unless it's a corner, open play.
Unless
I
it's a
promise
corner.
you will not score. Open
Okay.
play.
Clip it right now.
Okay.
Someone clip
I
it
love
right
it. I love it.
Whoa.
No.
I'm usually no. Usually I go to these games knowing we were gonna lose. This time without
That is
Saka
true.
and knowing Mikel Arteta is a freaking moron, and he's
Yes.
gonna play your best midfielder at right back. I'm confident we're gonna beat you.
now. Right, 'cause
Timber is fine,
to be fair, we do have
Timber
absolutely
is
no one else that
fine.
can play that. Unless
He's
Tommy
gonna
Asu
play.
plays.
Timber is going to play. And if we play Partey and Rice, your midfield is finished.
Rice
Bissouma.
is shit this season.
He hasn't been great. I won't deny. But
No,
but
he's
I
still
wouldn't
better
say-
than Bissouma.
I wouldn't say he's been shit. You got to
Bissouma's
put-
not
I
good.
just think he's been out of form. I don't think he's been. But I don't think
He's still
shit.
far. Our midfield is still far better than yours, even if Rice isn't in the best of form. Bissouma, really? You're gonna rely on that fucking
Odegaard is one of the worst tens.
Of course,
Mikel
he is.
Merino
Of course.
One
of the
is the
worst
biggest
tens
Spanish
that is
fraud.
the most creative in the league. That has
He
created
is
the
the
most
biggest
chances.
fraud.
Of
Declan
course
Rice
he's a
has
fraud.
been having the
I think
worst
I
season.
think that's Palmer. I think
46
that's Palmer, right?
assists in the Premier League. I couldn't believe that. I was like, he
I'm
has.
not gonna listen, Dietrich, don't get it twisted, Joe. I'm not Odegaard's biggest fan. You've got to put into the fact that he has been in Dietrich. You've got to put into the fact that listen, I'm not Odegaard's biggest fan, but he has been injured this season. However, he hasn't when he has been playing, he hasn't been fully on the ball. However, against United, even though
created 10 chances.
Even though he missed the penalty, he was our only shining light. I wouldn't put down to the fact that on his day, Odegaard can be absolutely one of the best 10s in the league. However, the one thing however, the one thing I do say is with Odegaard, and I will stick my head out with this one, right? And I'm always feel like I'm right with this. He can drop off. You won't get a 8
I agree with this.
7 to 9 out of 10 Odegaard every game. You'll get
That
it in
is so
most
true.
games, but then there are games where Odegaard will drop off. He won't want to press.
I'll take
He
Bruno
won't offer
Fernandes.
He is not.
I'll take
Connor
Bruno
is
Fernandes
Connor is
over
nailed.
I like
Odegaard.
to think tomorrow.
Connor has nailed
I
it.
like to think tomorrow that he will turn up for the North London derby and not
No,
be.
He
Connor
will
has
not turn
nailed
up. He
it.
will just. This idiot only knows how to fucking wave his hand. Let's go, fans. Let's go, fans. He does nothing on the
I won't
pitch.
deny that is somewhat true, but please do.
He is not a good captain. He's not a good 10. And he's not
He-
one of
I
your
think
best
he-
players.
in my opinion,
he's
he
one
is
of
a
the
good-
most
I think he is a
creative
good
players in the league, man. What are you on about?
Last season,
Creative.
Dietrich's last season, he was extremely good for us.
No, last season he was good. I'll give it to him. This season, no.
Because he's been injured for 3
Injured.
months of the
He has
season.
been
care.
injured, to be fair, Dietrich.
I know. When you see him, he hasn't done anything particularly well. Look at Madison. He's not having the best year, and he's having better numbers than Odegaard.
Stefan's about
Because
losing.
he's been injured for 3 months. That's like saying,
He was
oh
injured,
look.
to be fair, Dietrich. So listen,
It's
don't get me
not-
wrong,
No,
I'm not Odegaard's biggest fan, but he has literally been
Connor.
injured for a couple of weeks.
That's like saying at the end of the season, if Saka misses the rest of the season, look at Salah. He scored 15 more goals than Saka and got more assists. Well, obviously, he missed fucking 4 months of the season. How is
blame your
that
coach.
fair?
Yeah, blame your coach. That's on your manager. That's not my problem.
Blame our coach for Odegaard getting injured on
Yeah.
international duty against
No.
Kazakhstan.
I blame Saka. I'm talking about Saka, not Odegaard.
Okay.
I'm saying
so,
Saka.
Okay.
That is true, and that is a fair
Dietrich,
response.
the reality is that Arsenal have the best defense in the league.
No, you
Are
don't.
very good on set pieces.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Dietrich, let's not take
For
the
us-
piss. Let's not take the
No,
piss.
no, I'm not taking the piss.
We have the
I
best
so-
metrics. We've conceded the least amount of goal in every single. Like anybody that does stats, will
Because
tell
you play
Arsenal is
with
the
three
best defense
DMs
the
in
league.
midfield. You play with 3 DMs.
Worse than this.
You play with 3 DMs and 4 center backs.
We play with 3 DMs. Odegaard
But when
is a
Odegaard
DM?
was not playing, you had Partey, Declan Rice, Mourinho in midfield. Partey,
Mourinho is a DM. Since when is Mourinho a DM?
well, he's like more of a defensive. He's a box-to-box, more defensive.
What the fuck does that mean? Box to box, more defensive.
No, I mean like he plays as an 8, but he's more defensive.
Okay,
like for
just
example, like
facts
Bissouma,
facts-
he plays on an
facts
8, but he's more attacking.
Okay, the facts
I'm
are
not
whatever
gonna
way you
lie.
want to.
Hold on, Stefan,
Whatever way you want to look at it.
I'm not going to lie. What Dietrich said there is true. We do play that, but however, you can't deny the fact.
We still have the best defense.
No, but yeah,
No, you don't.
can't-
Oh, it's
you
actually
can't deny the
Forest
fact.
and Liverpool.
Hold
It's
on a minute.
actually Forest and
You can't
Liverpool.
Yeah,
deny
I
that's
the
won.
what it was, 'cause I said
I
I
won.
was-
And I'll say this,
conceded
and
more
I'll say this
goals.
to this day, and I'll say this to this
I'm
day,
not taking
Spurs.
shit already,
Spurs.
right?
I'll say this to this day, I'll debate a Liverpool fan any day. No other team apart from Liverpool can debate that we have a better defensive partnership than anyone else in the league.
No.
The only people I will
No,
debate is Van
Connor,
Dijk and
forget
Arsenal.
that.
That's
No,
the only two I will
forget,
take.
forget.
No,
just
Connor,
look at the
Connor.
stats.
Connor,
Just look
at
at the
least you're the
stats.
no, fuck the stats.
What do you mean,
Look
fuck
in-
the stats?
Fuck
What
the
does
stats.
that mean?
No, Connor. I respect you a lot. You cannot tell me this season Gabriel Saliba are a better partnership than freaking Milikovic and Murillo. There's
Who?
no way.
Who?
They're a
They've
Forest
conceded
partnership.
they've conceded more goals than us.
There's no way you can tell me that.
No, they didn't.
I will say this. I
By
trust.
one. No, they
Actually,
didn't. By
no,
one.
I will say this. I trust Saliba and Gabriel.
Oh, no,
Though-
shit, sorry. I
though-
was
Though
Never
Muriel
mind.
and Milinkovic are having
yes, you did concede last.
No, they're
Sorry.
they're having a great
Okay,
they're
you're
having a
right.
great season. But if you ask me if I trust, I'll probably trust more Saliba
Guys,
Gabriel.
Yeah,
forget,
'cause-
forget these what you trust. If you look at metrics, chances conceded, shots on target conceded, shot attempts conceded. Arsenal is by far the lowest in the league. Touches in the box in terms of how many times do the opposition gets into the box and how many touches. Arsenal is far and away the best defensive team. And then just from a pure stats base, the number of goals conceded, Arsenal is the best defense in the league.
Because you have Partey, of course you're gonna have those better
What
stats.
the fuck is that? Well, we have that
You have
player.
Partey.
I can argue. Well, but by
Partey is
that
one of the
logic, I
best
can-
DMs in the league.
Okay, but by that logic, I can argue Liverpool are only good going forward because Salah makes up over 60% of their goals and assists. What kind
Yeah,
of
Salah
argument
is the reason they're good going forward. I've never said the
Yes, he is.
opposite.
He makes up over 60% of their goals and
Yes,
assists.
that's what I said. Yeah, I agree with you.
Okay, so but that doesn't mean they're not good. It's like me
No,
saying
because
Liverpool.
if you take Salah away from those forwards, then they're
They're
gonna
fucked.
struggle. Yeah,
Yeah, they're fucked.
same
okay.
as you. You take Partey away from this team, you guys will fuck. You're fucked.
No, we've
Yes.
taken Partey's been on the bench the last few games. Rice plays in the 6.
And that's why you're conceding. That's why you're losing. That's my point.
Conceded. Okay, we barely concede any chances. And if you look at the Man United game, we conceded. They had like.
Bro, don't compare Man United. Come on, stop it. Hoyland.
Maury,
No.
Maury,
That's not.
I have a solution. Do I have a solution? Do we do the since we're arguing about players? Do we do a combined?
No,
11?
no, I don't want to do that.
Bro, I can do a combined 11 easily with these guys.
By 11. We can
do it.
But we'll base it maybe on the players that are fit available now. I think that kind of
Yes, let's do that.
And one more thing,
I'm
sorry
very
to cut you off.
Do we have to? Do we
No,
fucking
and one
have
more
to?
thing. If I hear David Raya as a good goalkeeper from you, Stefan, I will lose my shit.
Are you good? Are you genuinely good?
No, I'm
How
just
is
fucking
Darren
with you.
Raya not a good
David
goalkeeper?
Raya is
just
arguably
fucking-
being the best goalkeeper this season.
No, he's on fraud alert. I'll just say that.
Oh,
How is he
my
on?
God.
What?
Oh my!
He's on fraud
Okay.
alert.
Because he's had 2 bad games. Come on.
Sunday was real bad though.
Even Connor, who was very skeptical on David Raya last year, even Connor has said that David Raya this year and towards the end of last season was
he was
probably the
phenomenal.
best keeper in the league.
This is gonna be hilarious.
I mean, defense-wise, if we're basing it on fit players, can we just skip the fucking defense? Because
No, you can't. Stop it. No, get out of my face. No.
My
She's-
God.
If
That's not-
Poro
she's
is
not
not on
goalkeeper.
that team,
I think goalkeeper we've got to put Raya in there because Vicario's injured and Kaczynski is
I'm
only.
sorry.
Well, at least Kinski, he has 2
against
clean sheets.
Liverpool and
Please,
fucking.
Do me a favor, Dietrich.
Let's
he
keep
has a
it.
clean sheet. He has
Okay,
a clean sheet.
If you
2
guys
clean
choose
sheets.
Poro as the right back against Timber. Porro can't defend. I'm
Timber's
sorry.
injured.
No, Timber is fine.
No, he's
Arteta said
injured.
today- No, he's not. He's fine. Arteta said he's gonna play.
He's fit,
He's
Dietrich.
trained.
Oh, fuck.
Exactly.
Oh.
So Timber is playing. So Timber is right back. This is an easy
No,
one
no,
because
no. Wait,
are you
wait, wait.
seriously taking
No,
Porro?
no, wait, wait.
On it as well.
Usually Timber doesn't play on the left.
No.
Usually.
No, he's a right.
Miles Lewis
he's a
Skelly's
right,
gonna play on the
bro.
left.
Okay, I'll
Lewis
take
Skelly's gonna
Spence.
play.
Okay, you can have the center backs and the right back, but I'll take Spence over Kelly.
What about Michal Amari? What do you think, guys?
I'll take Spence. I like
The center backs.
Do I have to? Do I have to?
Gabriel
You
Saliba.
have to,
Timber's better than Porro, Mari. You don't rate Porro, Mari.
No, wait.
I know you.
Poro's better than Timber going forward. Timber's just better defensively.
defensively.
No,
Yeah.
just better defensive is the understatement of the year, Dietrich. Porro got spun by the fucking
Okay,
Tamworth winger,
Timber
man.
cannot go forward.
What do you mean Timber can't go forward? He's amazing on the ball. What are you on about?
No, he's not, man.
He can play right back, left back, and center back. How is that not technically good? What are you on about?
I don't give a shit if he can play. Okay, Spence can play all three positions.
Right,
Yes,
so who
Spence is
are we go-
technically good then.
Guys,
Me
guys,
personally,
wait.
no,
Dietrich,
I love
Dietrich,
this.
hold a second. Hold fire.
Shut up, Spence.
Guys,
Yeah, so
guys,
hold on,
I have to say something, right? Are we disrespecting the amazing partnership of Dragusin and Gray, who are one of the only two partnerships who have kept a clean sheet against Liverpool?
Gray goes into
That is true. That is true. That is true.
Get my guy Gray into the combined 11. Come on.
I'm gonna
See,
say
this is Spurs.
joking,
This is
of course,
Spurs.
right?
Kinski is better
I'm
than
joking.
Raya right now. What?
No,
Because
it's
he-
not.
let him play. Let him play tomorrow. Let's see what happens tomorrow.
Wait. No, this guy's raving about freaking David Raya.
that's
And
right.
look what he did in the penalties. Look how he did the Raya in the
What?
penalties.
Because he had one bad penalty shootout, he's a bad
Well, that
goalie
wasn't
now,
bad. This
Dietrich?
guy was like in ballerina moves. What the fuck was he doing against Manu in the penalties?
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
You can have him.
So who are we going for at right back then?
I'll take Poro.
Oh my god. Okay.
I'll take
Who
Poro.
are you? I'm having Timber. Connor, I'm guessing you're having
I'm having Timber as well. I think
Yeah,
he's been
easy,
solid in our
any
back
day.
line this season.
Michael, Mari.
I mean, I like Porro going forward, but he's been terrible defensively.
He's a right
Think about
back.
what you want in your
right
combined level.
back.
Who do you want? Do you want more of an attacking forward, or do you want more of a attacking right back? Sorry, or do you want more of a defensive one?
Can I be honest with you guys, right? If Porro was playing like right back for your team and you had like Calafiori, Gabriel, and Saliba, and they were just staying as a back three, I think I would take Porro at that point because I think he offers way more going forward,
thank you.
right?
Thank you.
If
But-
anything, I'd actually put Timber on the left.
Or Timber on the
if
like
we
Calafiori,
wanted
Timber,
to put
whatever.
him
Right?
in.
I'm just saying if the left back was the guy doing the defensive work and the right back was the guy doing like,
Do you know what
the
I'd
wing
settle
back
for?
and whatever,
I'd
right?
settle for Porro, Saliba, Gabriel, and then Timber on the left. That's what
I
I
agree with that.
That's
I agree.
that's what I wanted to say. That's what I
Yeah.
wanted to
That's
say.
what
First of
I'd
all,
settle for.
Porro. What would happen is if he played for Arsenal, the same shit would happen that would like with Zinchenko, which is Porro would show you great stuff going forward, but then eventually, when the crunch comes in, he's gonna look completely out of depth defensively, and Arteta and the fans will realize that he just isn't stable enough defensively to be able to play at the highest, like to win a league or to challenge for the league. So the same thing that happened with Zinchenko, who, in my opinion, watching Porro, is a better defender than Porro, in my opinion.
Okay, now you're insane. Okay, now
I'm
you're
not.
insane. You're freaking insane.
Dietrich, he got spun. Dietrich, he got dominated and spun by the fucking Tamworth winger.
Zinchenko cost your league title against Liverpool. Do you forget what he did?
He cost us the league, yeah, and that's why we're replacing him.
Yeah, which
That's why we're replacing him. And
Yeah,
you want
which
me, you want to pick Pedro Porro over Timber? You're
any
nuts.
day of the week.
Yeah.
Are we
Any
happy
day.
with this back? Are we happy with this back line?
No, I'm not.
No,
but-
I'm not. This is bullshit. It should be
Me
all
too.
Arsenal. We've
No, it
conceded
should
the
be
least
Porro.
amount of
No,
goals
no,
this
no.
season.
No, because everyone's talking about how Saliba, Gabriel's freaking amazing, and we know we're gonna put Partey in DM. I would
Yeah.
put Porro and Spence.
I know,
Partey's going to be on the bench.
get heat for it,
Dietrich
but
tomorrow.
He's not gonna be on the bench.
I agree with Stefan, man. It should be all.
This is a joke, man.
I'll do. But who's at left back? Calafiori.
No, Miles Lewis Skelly. He's
he's not. No, Spencer's better than him.
No, wait.
You see, Mario, don't listen to this bullshit.
Wait.
Jets spent 3 good fucking games, and suddenly he's amazing.
What do you mean 3 games?
Let's base it on the form at the moment, right? Well, let's look at the facts here. Personally, at the moment, Timber has to go in for me. I think Timber this season is coming to this team as an Arsenal fan. For me personally, I look at this right. Timber, for me personally, he's coming to this Arsenal team this season, and he's been absolutely fantastic, right?
Yeah.
If we're gonna play tough ball here, I would put him over Pedro Porro because I think at right back he's been absolutely solid this season. You can talk about going forward all you want, but if you really look at the logistics of it, look at where you are with Pedro Porro in your back line, and look at where you are.
No, that's
if it's so important going forward, look at what you are. And defensively, he's been shocking. Look at Timber's been in our team, and defensively and going forward, we've still been all right. We're second in the league currently.
No, but honestly, Connor, can you remember one game? This is how good Timber has been.
I don't think Timber's had a bad game yet for Arsenal.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, and he has been more consistent, I would argue, than Saliba and Gabriel. I can't remember one winger that has spun Timber.
I'll settle with Timber at right back, but I can't put a left back up for Arsenal. I can't because I don't think we'd be. I
didn't contribute getting predictions, so we gotta speed it up. Let's go to the midfield.
All right, okay, midfield. Declan Rice and Partey.
Get on my face.
This isn't even a conversation.
No. I'm not saying this just to argue with you.
Please don't say Basuma. I swear to God, I'm gonna flip it. No.
Partey is there. I agree.
Right.
Madison should be there. No, Kulusevski.
Madison?
No.
He doesn't even start for you guys.
Kulu midfield.
Dietrich. I don't know about Madison.
No. Kulu in midfield. You're gonna put Partey.
I could go Kulu.
Kulu, yes.
Madison, but not Madison.
Rice, okay. Go Kulu. But
don't put Rice.
I'm not doing that.
I'm not putting Rice.
Okay.
For the majority vote, Dietrich.
Yeah. No. Rice and Odegaard.
Take Bergvall over freaking Rice this year.
Mihal, what's your midfield, man?
But Rice is solid. He will always give you a 7. You gotta put Rice in there.
He's been shocking this year.
Guys,
he's just a little bit, but he's still better than any. I'll be honest. I hate our midfield. So I'm gonna tell you how it is. He's still better than our midfield.
Dietrich, a fucking concussed Rice with one leg is still better than Basuma. Okay, still better than
Basuma. Bossed Liverpool.
Well done to Yves Basuma.
I have to ask a question. What's your opinion on Odegaard as an 8? Right,
as an 8?
Not
I don't like him.
He's better as a 10. He's
much better. He doesn't have the legs to cover both boxes.
Because I personally would like to put Kulu in the midfield, right? But I'm not sure how we compare him with Odegaard, right? When you look purely on numbers, I think Kulusevski is over Odegaard, right? With goals scored, assists, and I think chances created, they are really similar. But I'm not sure if Odegaard deserves to be because if I put Kulu, then it's Partey and Rice for me. Partey, Rice, Kulu. But I would personally say Kulusevski, Odegaard, and Partey, maybe. But I'm not sure then about because I'm trying to create a team, right? And I'm not sure if Odegaard and Kulusevski would work. It's kind of a similar situation that we have. We cannot play Kulusevski and Maddison in the same team because they are both too offensive, right?
Guys, no, Michael, you're right, but you know me, I'm the biggest Partey fan there is, but he hasn't been good for the last 3-4 weeks. Rice has been far better.
No, he hasn't.
How about Rice, Odegaard, Kulusevski?
I think that's the best.
I'd be happy with that.
Yeah, I think that's the best.
Can I just say something? Partey is your best DM. Rice is more of a box to box, and Kulu is a better 10.
I think Rice acts as a box to box. I think Rice is a DM.
I'd go with the way it is now. I'd go with the way it is.
No.
Yeah,
I think
I'm happy with what's on the screen.
You get a lap on the front line because when we get to the forwards,
no front line. There's going to be 2
by default, because Arsenal doesn't have a striker, so he goes by default.
Bottle of Deja, mate. Bottle of Deja.
Who?
I really don't rate Solanke, but yeah.
Can I say the front line?
Who has more goals? Who has more goals
Solanke.
this year? Is it Havertz or Solanke?
Solanke.
Are
No,
you sure?
equal. I think they're equal.
I think equal, yeah.
I think they're equal.
Okay.
But by default,
Can I say the front line? I would say Solanke.
You cannot pick Son. I'm sorry. This season you cannot pick Son.
wait. Trust me, I don't like Son this year. Trust me, I really don't like him. But I don't want to put Brennan Johnson.
No.
Put
I'm
Solanke.
sorry.
Wait. Solanke, Son, Martinelli.
You can't pick Son, man. Son's been fucking shit this year.
Terrible.
Who else are you gonna take? Don't say Trossard.
Trossard
Oh
started
my
the
God.
season well.
Do you know what?
Oh my God.
Trossard's been bad the last.
Trossard's been bad. Trossard's been bad for a month, guy. Like
I've got a solution, right? Why don't we
Just
just
change the formation. Change the formation.
I actually think we put Kulu on the right because let's be honest, right? I know he plays more on a 10 for you guys this season.
Actually, yeah. Put Kulu on the right.
We've got no good right.
I'll take that. Yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah.
Kulu on the right, and then
Kulu on the right is not good. But yeah, put him on the right.
I mean, that's the option we've got at the moment.
Wait. Can I just say Son this year has 5 goals and 6 assists? My bad. That's pretty good.
Right.
I don't rate him. I don't rate him this year. Trust me, I really
you know
don't.
what the problem is, right? I think Son has been shit this season, right? But Martinelli and Trossard weren't great either, right? So it's
They
like
haven't.
Trossard earlier in the season was really good. The first 2
We're
months,
talking about current,
and he dropped off.
we're talking about current form and current form at the moment.
No, yeah, I'm honestly, we should leave the fucking left and right winger blank. We should just leave it blank.
It's a combined 11.
I was thinking just leave it.
Everybody's shit, Connor. Everybody's shit.
Put back in the midfield.
Can I be so honest?
Leave Solanke there and just leave.
No, but guys, can we be honest though? Stats wise, we gotta pick Brennan Johnson then, guys. We have to.
Oh my goodness.
We have to. Dietrich, you just named the stats.
Stefan, I'd rather kill myself than put.
I know Dietrich,
there.
but he has scored more goals than Kulusevski and Son. And he's a forward. You can't deny this.
But that's the only time stats don't matter. That's the only time. Stats don't matter. Please don't do that.
I think you used that phrase once.
You've got to put.
Numbers do lie. That's where.
No, guys, Brennan Johnson deserves to be in this combined 11 more than Son, guys. More than Son and Martinelli. Son has been the last 2 months has been absolutely horrendous.
I can't do that and put Johnson in.
Can we just ignore Saka's injury and put him there? Because I fucking don't want to put any of those fingers in the team.
Ignore Saka's injury. Guys, let's be fully real. The Solanke should be the forward because recent form he's been better than Havertz. Right wing should be Brennan Johnson, and then left wing it's between Martinelli and Son. I think Martinelli has been slightly better the last few months than Son. I think it should be Brennan Johnson, Solanke, and Martinelli. That's my opinion. If we look
in
at
general, Stefan, in general.
not in general. Not in general.
Statistically, right?
Yeah.
Hold on a minute. Statistically, it should be. Hold on. It should be Brennan Johnson, right? Brennan Johnson should be there. I'm sorry, you Spurs fans, right? But statistically, he has been the better. Right? If Saka was here, obviously, it's Saka straight away.
Yeah.
Then it should be Kulusevski here.
You wanted to do this.
It should be Kulusevski, and then it should be Son. I've just done the stat check. Son has more goals and assists than Johnson if he was to play on the left. Listen.
How the fuck is that?
If we're talking about current form,
we're going to get rinsed. We got 5 Spurs players in
December.
No, but you see, Mari, people say I'm biased, but I agree with this. I agree with this.
Current form. These players have been the best since December, the best in Martinelli and Trossard. And then Odegaard's obviously criticism overall.
So wait. Connor, by your logic, Madison should be in the team then.
By the 11, I'm saying it.
I'm saying since December.
In the show, I don't claim this.
Wait. By your logic, Connor. By your logic, Kulu should be the 8, and Madison should be the 10.
No, Kulu should.
No, wait, no. Look at the numbers before you.
Yeah,
No,
but
you
you're
say Brian
looking
Johnson
at-
should
wait,
be there.
wait,
Look at this.
You're looking at only attacking numbers. Rice defensively shits on Kulu and all of the Spurs players. Interceptions,
Yes,
everything.
how about
This
how
is
about
going
putting?
into it
'Cause
now.
I will not
Final
accept.
11, Real Madrid.
Guys, Brennan Johnson has 12 goals. You cannot deny those 12 goals.
Madison has 8 goals.
Statistically, he has been the best on form. Like fucking hell, Jesus! It's not like you put Satan in there for God's sake. It's a player from Wales. Like, what's going
They
on?
really hate. No, the problem is Connor is they really hate Brennan Johnson, but they just can't. They can't deny the
Beetlejuice.
fact that he scored
Beetlejuice.
12 goals.
Guys, you've got to fucking realize the best winger possible is injured. This is injuries. Do you want to do a combined 11 based on everyone who is injured as well? Then this will be impossible.
No, you're right. Healthy wise, all right. Yeah, you're right. Healthy wise, this is what.
This is the
This
current,
is clear
the
for all the
current
viewers.
team in
This
on
is
form.
healthy team that is available right now. I'll make that clear. Before anyone
Mari,
tries to comment,
Arsenal have had 49 shots in the last 2 games and scored 1 fucking goal. If we're talking
Okay,
recent
wait.
form,
thank you very much.
Stefan, can I add something quickly?
go on.
I know you're gonna lose your mind. I know, but
Tell
on
me.
current form, you can. No. I don't rate Archie great, but on current form, he's been freaking good.
No,
He's not better than Gabriel or stop.
no,
Dietrich,
not than
stop
Gabriel.
it, please.
Oh my
No.
Sorry.
Wait.
Dietrich,
No, on current. On current
don't
form,
go through it. Don't go
Saliba
through
has
it.
not been good.
This guy.
Saliba has not been good.
Dietrich, we have the best defense in the
How
league.
many clean sheets has he started and kept? Hold on a minute.
Why
I think
has
he
he
doesn't-
clean sheet?
I think he doesn't
Guys,
have
2
one.
clean sheets,
I
right?
think he doesn't have one in the league, Connor. I don't think he's
Yeah, he
had
doesn't,
one
no,
clean
no,
sheet
I'm
in the
checking
league.
it. He's got one. No, he's got one against Southampton in the league when they won 5-0. Right?
Okay, that's good.
Sick one.
No, but can I propose something, right? Because I know, like, listen, Johnson this, Johnson that, right? But maybe put Kulu right wing and Madison or Odegaard in the 10.
That's what I said.
You put Kulu in.
Guys,
You
I
hate
cannot
Kulu
have,
on the right.
cannot
then
have
Archie
Madison
Brennan
over
midfield.
Odegaard. I'm sorry. You cannot have a guy that doesn't play, man. He's on the bench
But
consistently.
this is about current form, man. Fuck, why can't Saka just be fit, man? They will all be happy. Like, what is going on here, man?
No, if we're talking not even current form, because Johnson in current form also has been, let's be honest, last 2 games he hasn't been very good, but he still has 12 or 13 goals if I'm not mistaken. He has more goals than Solanke and more goals than Son this season.
Okay, I have a proposition. How about we put Kulu on the left and put Madison at the 10?
Kulu
What
never
is up
played
with
left, so
Madison
it's
at the
like,
10?
Bro, why are we switching? Why are we swapping players? Like this is a combined.
Because I don't want to see Son on the team personally.
Right, okay, cool. I want to put Saliba up front then. What's going on?
Honestly, no. At this point, I would take Saliba over Johnson up front.
Oh my God.
Right, we're done here, Maury. This is the combined 11. We're done.
Dietrich,
can we recall Vuskovic and put him up front? Because
Yeah,
he's
sure.
scoring
Yeah.
some bangers.
Wait,
fucking
wait.
hell.
We're
I have a
gonna.
question.
You know what? Fuck Madison and Odegaard. Fabio Vieira has been doing really well at Porto. How
No,
about
he
we put
doesn't.
Right,
Fabio
look off the
Vieira
stream.
at
Look
10?
off the stream. Look off the stream.
Okay.
Look off the stream.
How- Okay.
Amy
Let's
Donnelly
go.
has
Okay,
been doing well for
let's
Leighton Orient.
let's
One goal
Predictions.
to assist.
predictions. Let's finish it off with predictions. I want to go to bed.
I go
can I-
Stefan and Connor because I went. Dietrich's went. Go ahead.
I'll say, I know Stefan's he's gonna raise his hands as always, like Odegaard. I'm predicting 2-1 Spurs. 2-1. And you're gonna get a no wait. You're gonna get a dodgy penalty, and we're gonna get lucky and win 2-1. Because there's always a penalty in those games. Usually.
Yeah.
I
So, yeah,
mean,
2-1.
I'm trying to think.
My
let's-
score is
let's-
2-1. The opposite. I have Arsenal 2-1.
And Brennan Johnson's gonna score.
I hope I'm wrong.
He's gonna score. I'm not surprised he will score.
Dietrich, could you make it even more unrealistic?
No. I know damn well he's gonna score.
Fucking
know.
Archie Gray bullet header 95th minute.
Yeah.
Bergvall.
Yeah,
Who's next? Connor, you are.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a 2-2. I don't know, man. I think it's just the last couple of games has really got me thinking. Are we gonna be up for it? I don't know. So we'll wait and see. I mean,
Desmond too.
If I was to pick a winner, like if I was to say, I kind of just pick a winner, I would pick Arsenal. Just on the factor of, come on, man, it's London derby. If these players can't even have a fucking shot on, get a shot on target in the back of the net against Tottenham, who don't even have, I think is Van der Ven back tomorrow? Is he?
No.
He's not.
Archie Gray and Dragusin. Archie Gray and Dragusin, mate.
I'm sorry.
If he plays BDV,
No, BDV is not back. BDV,
we-
but
no,
BDV is
no,
not
no,
back.
no.
It's like
I'm going to edge out, but I'm going
I think
across the Atlantic, and I'm personally like, edge.
Marty?
I'm pretty sure Davies trained today, but I don't think he will put that.
Don't worry.
Ben
Davies
Davies
is
styles, yeah.
Ben Davis is back. The Welsh Maldini is back, so you guys will be fine.
I'll take him over.
Actually, do you know what? No, do you know what?
Who are you going to take him over? Gabriel? Dietrich?
No, do you know what?
No, fuck
No,
with
no,
you,
no,
fuck
fuck
with
all that. It's the London derby, for God's sake. I'm going for 2-1 Arsenal. I can't do that.
BB is a prick.
As much as I do think I'm worried that we're not going to be able to, I think we're very low on momentum at the moment. I think the team's quite down. I think I don't know what's going on, man. So that's the reason why. But you know what? If these players can't even start for a North London derby, you'll hear me. So fingers crossed they don't do that, and we actually do
Can I just say
turn up.
something?
No, you
It
can't
would
say
be a
anything.
bit
No,
shocking if you.
No, you can't. There
Yeah.
you go. Thank you very much. 2-1. 2-1 Arsenal. Go on, DJ. I'm joking, man. Go on.
No. I just said it would be
What
shocking
do you want to
if you
say,
only score.
Dietrich?
No, if you guys only score set piece or penalty, no open play goals.
It
I'll
doesn't
be
count.
fucking.
Oh, what is
It
this
doesn't
whole thing?
count.
I don't think teams actually realise we've scored more open play goals than set pieces.
No, I'm
I
just
don't
saying, if
understand.
you score like last time a fucking bullet from Gabriel, I will lose my shit.
No, but here's the narrative today. Arne Slot puts on Tsimikas and Jota. Liverpool score from a corner, tactical genius. Arsenal Arsenal. Wait. Arsenal are they had done nothing
Stoke City.
in open play prior to that. They actually score from a corner, tactical genius. Arsenal score from set pieces and are the best in the league. Oh,
I'm not going to lie,
Stoke
though.
City FC.
I am not going to lie. As much as I have rated the set pieces, whichever fucker put a mural of Nicholas Hoyvier outside the Emirates, shame on you, man. Why the fuck are we putting a set piece coach as a fucking mural? What's going on here? What is actually going on here?
No, Connor,
Connor, I've told you about our fan base. I've told you a lot before. We're fucking idiots, Connor. We are.
Yeah, I know.
You're the same
I-
guy that rated
what-
Marino.
Okay, my turn.
What? Get rid of who?
Stefan.
Mikel Marino, yeah.
Oh, Mikel
I'm going to go
Marino.
3-1 Arsenal. I think our luck in front of goal will finally change. We'll put the actual chances in. And yeah, I just think we have too much and just shit. So yeah, that's
Who's
why it's
scoring?
3-1.
Who's scoring?
I'm going to go Havertz is going to score. I think he's going
Fucking God
to
help
have
me.
yeah. I think Havertz is going to score. I think Martinelli will score, and I
He's
think
deluded.
I think Gabriel's going to score from a corner also.
You're
I can see
deluded.
that. Let's see Gabriel scoring.
I mean, to be fair, you don't have Van der Ven or Romero, right?
No.
Doesn't matter. We look better
set
without these
pieces.
guys.
So you know what?
What do you mean look better without Van de Ven and
No,
Romero?
it's actually,
Actually,
no,
I swear to God, I don't know what. Yeah, I actually believe you're genuinely
Jackson's been
taking the piss at times.
Jackson's been
we
good.
look
Yeah,
better.
yeah.
And it's insane from me coming from you. Will. We look better.
What do you mean, man? I speak facts.
Actually,
I love Romero.
Connor, this is Spurs fans. Archie Gray has like 4 or 5.
Bro,
and I
do you know
really
how
don't
many
rate
people-
Archie
do you know
Gray.
how many people would take Romero and Van der Ven in their team? I wouldn't, but a lot of people would.
I don't know, Connor. You guys know I really don't rate Romero, but I do rate Van de Ven, and I think he'd be a
He's
far better
horrible.
team with Van de Ven.
You know, if there is one thing to say about Van de Ven, right? He's really shit in the air, considering he's like 1
He's
meter
lanky,
95 or
anything.
something like that.
Isn't he also a player? Isn't he a full
For the
player?
love of me, I cannot understand why he's so shit at set pieces, right?
He's
and
set the set piece.
Even
it's-
Romero. Even Romero's not good at set pieces too.
Yeah,
No,
Romero
he's
is
good. He's good.
He's good at attacking set pieces.
Attacking.
No.
Defending,
Defending set pieces.
Romero
Yeah,
would be good.
defense-
Romero would be good
Yeah,
in the
but
league
Saliba-
with the
but-
referees,
but-
and he just literally slaughter everyone on the pitch.
No, but Saliba is similar, guys. Saliba is really good at defending set pieces. He's not very good
attacking. Yeah,
attacking them. So
Gabriel's good at both.
that's
At
why
both.
that's why
Gabriel's
that's why
good at
Gabriel
Gabriel's
will
improved
always be a
so much
better
over the years.
FPS asset than.
When
Gabriel, I actually thought Gabriel. I told Stefan, I thought Gabriel was the best center back last season.
Oh,
Don't
that's
tell rival
insane.
fans that, Mari. They'll
I
lose their
completely
shit.
agreed with this, Mari.
Yeah,
I've
it's
always said that
exactly.
Gabriel for me.
It was Virgil van Dijk apparently. Like, do me a favor, man. Like, come on.
I know he does have a popular name like Saliba, but I thought Gabriel was the scoring goals.
Gabriel was the more underrated one because I think because he's older and the whole young French centre back thing. I think now
No,
overtakes.
I think
whole-
Connor, it's the fact that Gabriel isn't as silky on the ball like Saliba is.
Saliba's
He's not.
He's improved massively when he first started. You know, when he was
Yeah.
starting up with like David Luiz and all that lot, he was like shit scared of everything, and he's really grown into becoming a proper
Passing wise, especially his long range passing has really improved. His diagonal balls are really good now.
I also think people like like a new shiny toy thing, right? And they like more silky, like showboaty stuff. I had a feeling that Saliba, especially when he debuted for you, and like a couple of first months, he was really like it looked easy for him and all that stuff. And I just think that there was such a hype on his name that people started like putting him in the conversations he shouldn't be put at that point, right? But I think Gabriel is, for me, I think Gabriel is way, of course, he's older, right? But he looks way more mature. I think he's a better, like, overall package for me than
He's more of a leader.
He's a leader, but that's obvious, right? Because he's older. But
he's more of a leader, the vocal leader on that.
No, he is. The thing I love about Gabriel is as a pure defender, I think he's better. If we're looking at just pure defending as a
leader.
No, what I love about Gabriel is in the biggest moments, in the toughest games, Gabriel plays better. That's what I love about him. He always comes big when it's the hardest. It's the toughest time.
Which
like
big
Gabriel,
except in the cups.
Which big no. The way he talks, it's like they won the treble, they won this, they won the Champions League. What did you win? You're saying big moments.
Yeah, in big games against Man
Which
City.
Which big games you bottled the league twice?
Okay. But against the treble-winning Man City side, last year we won 15 of our last 17 games.
Okay, what did you win? You said like,
we didn't win the league. No, but we didn't win the league. But this is funny coming from Spurs fans who continuously talk about the Pochettino era and how good Moussa Dembele was and how good Alderweireld and Vertonghen were. What did they win?
Wait. I'll answer that question. I rate this team. I always rated that team. The only reason we didn't win because we had
of course. So you have an excuse, but we don't have any excuses. Saliba getting injured 2 years ago. That's not a valid excuse.
No. The excuse you didn't win is because your manager is shit. That's it.
Okay.
Michael, your prediction.
Yeah. Fuck! I was hoping you will forget that I didn't give one. No, I kid you not. It's really hard to predict this game for me. And the reason why I'm saying this is when we were playing Arsenal at our ground, I knew that we are going to lose 1-0. Sometimes you have a feeling about the game. You just look at the game and you are like, yeah, we are going to win that. We are going to lose that. Like this game will be a shit show, whatever. You just have that like sneaky feeling and it comes into fruition. And with this game, I honestly, I feel like the morale at your camp is really, really low right now after those two games. When I was watching especially after the United game, your players looked a bit like basically, as I said, like the morale was low, right? So I feel like it will be a huge game of momentum. I feel like if you guys score first and early, and and if it's Havertz or something like that, right? I feel like also the crowd, not only like the team, but the crowd also, like it's a bit like shaken right now. So I have a feeling if you guys score first, the crowd will get behind the team, then we'll probably lose, right? Most likely lose. But I have a feeling if we score first somehow, right? I am not necessarily sure how, but if we score first, I think this might be like a mood killer a bit. That's why I say that it's hard for me to predict because I think it will be like an extremely swingy game depending on what happens, right? So if I were to give a prediction, because like I'm a Spurs fan and I want to back my team and I want to believe, I will say this will be a 1-1 draw. But I honestly, if I was a betting man and I had to bet on that game, I would probably say 2-1 Arsenal, right? I just have a feeling that the crowd will get behind the team. It's a North London derby. We aren't winning there pretty much at all, right? So I will not really like predict a win. I'm not like deluded or or showing too much chest. I think I'm fair in my assessment, but I want to believe. And guys, I know if you don't show chest, then it's hard to be a dickhead after, right? But if we win somehow and we do a North London hours in a week, oh boy, I'm going to be fucking shameless. I'm going to be shameless.
Mari, it's not the real League Gunner.
Mari,
it's not the Gunner.
It's your turn.
Oh, well,
Mari,
what did you predict, Michael?
Yeah, I think
1-1 draw. I think.
1-1, okay.
It's real hard for me, like I said earlier, because this team, we're so Spursy. We're a weird team, and then combined with that, Arsenal is not finishing, and so I looked at the teams that we played where we got a result that didn't finish. The teams that really punished us are the ones that finished, like Liverpool 6-3, but then again, we beat them 1-0 in the FA Cup. So it's so weird, and so my heart would say, okay, we could pull off maybe a draw, like a 1-1 draw, but my head is saying it's a tall order. Edge can be stubborn. He can't do back-to-back games where he would play pragmatic, because he did kind of play pragmatic against Liverpool, and so I think Jordan said it earlier. You hate wanting to bring a result against your team, but I'm just going to be honest. I see a 2-1 Arsenal victory. They know Liverpool dropped points the day before. I just think they are able to pull it out. I think it will be a tough game, but I just think it will be 2-1. I hope I'm wrong, but I'm going with my head on this one.
No, I'm just gonna ask you guys. Potentially tomorrow, if you lose and some of the teams around you win, you could go 15th.
Yeah.
Is that not a concern slightly?
No.
Well, of course it is.
No.
I mean,
we're gonna leave off with this, because I do have to go in about a couple minutes.
Yeah.
I'll leave off with this. It's weird because and I think we said it best on our channel. In a weird way, everybody put Ange at a messianic role, and he can do
Not me.
Like even Sunday, it was the pitch fault, it's injury's fault, and like literally, we could be 17th, and he will get a pass. I think he will be in trouble if he doesn't get past Liverpool, which should be expected, because we don't do well at Anfield. Like it's been traditionally a house of horrors, and
we
so
always get a draw.
Yeah,
no, potentially in 1 month. Let's be honest. Aston Villa away, that could easily easily out of the FA Cup. Liverpool at Anfield, where you have won 8 times.
February.
In 100 years.
Yeah, you keep the. I think we will see in February, because that's too late. No. Conte was let go in March. Jose was let go in April, a week before.
March and April is your sweet spot.
Yeah.
So it's never too late. I think if we are 13, 14, 15 in February and we're out of those competitions, I think Daniel Levy, and I think the fan base will finally be saying, we got to get rid of this guy, because that's terrible. I don't, and I'll say this. I don't know if you guys heard me about my rant about injuries. The injuries are because of Ange's tactics and system. He had that same problem with Celtic. This is not new.
Celtic. No, only go back to Japan.
No, he had that problem with the star
everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere. So, this is not something new. It's always going to be a problem. Van de Ven got injured last season. He's injured this season. Van de Ven will be injured next season. These type of injuries are going to happen. So for me, the injury issue, I'm not buying because it's always going to be an issue because of how Ange rotates the players, his tactics and whatsoever. So that's what for me, I say it's always going to be a problem. And we're a club. Traditionally, we don't have depth. We never had depth. That's what Poch complained about. He wanted more depth. So when you add that, and along with a weak physio team, right? Romero said something, and he had deleted the season of Conte's last season, right? Because he talked too much to Argentine press about the physios. And it's not the first time. So when you combine all three, injuries are always going to be an issue. Bad rotation, bad tactics, playing the high line, and the third thing, our physios suck. It's a bad recipe. We're always going to have injuries. So
I'm saying the best thing that will happen for Spurs if Ange stays until the end of the season.
So what? So you can get relegated, the Dietrichs in your wildest dreams?
No, the bigger picture is Enoch. If he continues doing this madness,
guys,
and with the Ange cult, the Ange cult still back Ange.
Levy wants. I guarantee.
Hopefully,
you,
get relegated.
I guarantee you, Levy, the moment Ange, if he goes out of the League Cup and the FA Cup in 3 weeks' time, he is gone.
That's
Levy doesn't get. Levy knows.
He sacked Mourinho.
No. I'll tell you why. Because Levy knows the PR narrative, which is we lost the League Cup final because I sacked Mourinho 7 days. Well, now, motherfuckers, I'm not going to sack him even though we're 14th or 15th, by far our worst league position in over a decade, because because we're in the League Cup semifinal. But the moment the League Cup semifinal is out, and if he goes out of the FA Cup, he's gone. I severely doubt that Levy will say, you know what? I'll just give him the Europa League to see if, because the league, I think by then will be, you have no, apart from maybe.
I'm telling you, he doesn't care. He doesn't care, bro.
I think he does, guys. He's just waiting for a reason now to sack Ange. Because if he sacks him now, the fans will be like, what the fuck? Why? We're in the FA Cup and we have a slight a lead in the League Cup. But the moment those two cups are out, Levy will say they can't use me now as an excuse. So yeah, I think that's what's going on. Guys, quick thoughts. I didn't hear Connor, thoughts on Zubimendi potential.
Oh yeah, quickly, I was going to say, if they get to the cup final, then Ange's sacked, because Spurs like to sack managers at cup finals, don't they? So that's why.
Wait, I'll respond for Zubimendi because once again you didn't listen.
Is he also shit, Dietrich?
No. Oh. Zubimendi is a fantastic DM, but you don't need him.
I think we should revert. I think we
with that money.
I think we need to revert back to a 4-2-3-1.
Partey is gone, Dietrich, at the end of this season.
It's not even wait. It's not even about Partey. I personally think I will play Rice, even though he's not a DM for me, and I will spend all of that money you're gonna put on Zubimendi on a proper striker.
Yeah, but that's what we're gonna spend on a striker. Also,
you're not gonna spend a striker. It's been freaking 10 years you've been saying that, bro. Since Aubameyang, bro. Who's the last good striker you bought?
We haven't bought a number 9 since then.
Well, you're gonna say the same thing.
Okay, goodbye, guys.
I got to go. Tomorrow there's gonna be a post game. Hopefully, Stefan and Connor will come through, win, lose, or draw. Tomorrow,
I'm always here.
It's normally really busy, especially after a North London derby.
Connor, I love you to death. I'm not gonna bother you, but Stefan, if you lose, get ready. I'm gonna call you.
No,
I will call you.
I'm ready. I can take the shit, but if you lose and Basuma looks like a headless chicken like he always does, get ready for me to give you shit also.
Hey, listen, he was good against Tamworth. He was good against Tamworth.
If we lose, I'll come on stream, apologize, and put my camera on.
Yes.
I'm curious, bro.
You have the worst record in the Emirates, man. What are you doing?
No, wait. If I said
Dietrich
if we
just wants
lose,
to expose himself.
if we lose, that's
If you lose, you're going to turn your camera. No, you won't. Stefan, Dietrich, I swear you made this deal like a million
no,
times.
no,
before.
no,
You
no,
turned your camera
way.
the other day.
No.
Dietrich, do you realize that you
why are you
have the
gonna reveal
worst
your
record at the
privacy
Emirates of
for a
any
fucking law?
stadium?
No, because I'm that confident we're gonna beat you. I'm
Fair
actually
play.
that confident.
Fair
It's
play.
just,
Wow,
it's,
Fair
it's,
play,
yes.
confident, fair play.
Speaking with chess.
I don't come with chess because I know we're gonna beat you. We're gonna probably beat
Some
you.
bet
Wow,
with money.
Dietrich
Some
put
bet
the
with money.
camera
Dietrich
on.
bet with identity.
I'm with Dan. Big up Hotspur. Oh,
2-1 Spurs.
even Dan is
I'm
saying
trying to
2-1.
believe that
Do you
Dietrich's
guys,
like my
realize
trouble.
you're 13th or like, where's this confidence coming from? Like,
No,
I'm
just
shocked
saying.
by this.
especially at the Emirates.
If you had Saka, I would predict a 4-1
We've beaten you. Arsenal are being so much better
We've
than
beaten you
Spurs,
without
and we
Saka.
have beaten you at Spurs 3 times in a row now.
But we've
And
also-
you're
we've
still
also beaten
confident
them
about
without
coming
Saka.
to our place?
about soccer?
No, you haven't.
I swear we
beaten us
played
without
you before and we've beaten you without Saka in the team.
We
No.
have beaten them. We beat them
was this?
without Saka. I think it was 3 years ago. Was it when we won 2-1? Yeah.
I swear there was a time.
No, right?
Who was our player?
Or are you talking at the Emirates?
At the
Maybe I
Emirates,
was
where
wrong.
it
Maybe I
was,
think about
where
Man
it
United.
was,
I don't know.
where who scored? Odegaard scored. You guys scored
No,
first.
he
the
played
great
that
goal.
2-1. Maybe I'm sorry, guys. Maybe I'm wrong.
No,
There was definitely a team in the top 6 that we beat without Saka.
You've never beaten us without Saka.
Okay, and you're without Van de Ven, Romero, and Udogie.
Doesn't matter. We're gonna
Of course, it doesn't matter.
It actually doesn't matter because it's the shit with them and shit without them.
We're shit with them, we're shit without them. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Hey, we got Mr. Generational, Mr. Grayback.
Wait, can I just say, Hotspur? Wait, you just played a 5th division team in which you had to go to extra time, and you're talking about Arsenal sweating bad?
Archie
Okay.
Gray will have a Maldini performance.
Right. Can't wait for this stuff.
Wow. And Ian will come on stream and
Yeah, Ian will come
Guys,
on.
guys, we actually forgot about the biggest strengthening that we got this week. I don't know if you noticed. Werner is injured, right? We fucking strengthened to the high heavens.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
Oh, the South Korean guy, the winger.
No, Werner is injured, right?
Werner.
I'm just talking about
oh.
Werner being injured. Werner being injured is such a boost, right? Because we don't.
But do
Nah, we
believe? Do you Spurs fans believe in the whole for tomorrow? Form goes out the window. Do you believe?
No.
No.
Not for this
Not
game.
for the derby.
No.
So if you look at form, then Arsenal have better
Yeah, if you
form
look
than
at
Spurs,
form.
even with the 2 recent losses.
No, I think. No, honestly, I'm just confident because Saka is the main reason why we lose those derbies. He's the main reason.
I mean, I don't even know who. I think we're going to have to play. I don't even know who we're going to play on the right. Sterling tomorrow.
Sterling's probably going to play on the right.
Sterling, right? Sterling.
God help me, please.
But here's the funny thing: Sterling loves to score against Spurs.
Yeah.
Well, if he
do you
does it, then I'll
realize-
be more than happy.
But this guy has been atrocious for years. Please don't.
And he's gonna and the Spursiest thing ever would be for Sterling to be shit the whole season and to score against the Spurs.
The Spursiest thing will be Brennan Johnson scoring 2 goals against.
If we lose tomorrow, do you know what I've actually said? If we somehow manage to lose tomorrow and then lose to our former manager on Saturday, if that doesn't shout sackable offence, I don't know what does. Plus getting knocked out of 2 cups. I'm sorry. What
No,
doesn't scream
wait.
sackable offence?
Stefan, I made a bet. You gotta make a bet. If you lose tomorrow, you have to come on stream and say Mourinho is fucking trash and Arteta is a fraud.
Are we in the playground, bro? What's going on there?
Yeah.
What's going on there?
No. Because he has chess. Stefan has chess, so I want to see it.
I mean, I love the fact that you're willing to sacrifice your identity for a Tottenham Arsenal game.
No, because I'm
That's
confident.
all right,
No, because
Connor, he works for like the CIA or some shit.
That's what I mean. That's why.
By the way, just a little spoiler. There is a stream where Dietrich showed his face.
yeah, it was by accident.
It was good, quick
It was by
accident.
accident, but there is.
May I know what this stream is?
Yeah. But this time, It's
It
gonna
was
be
like 2 years ago.
seconds, fully like, you know.
He's AFK, man.
Stefan, I'm coming for you tomorrow. I'm coming for you. Man.
If you
See, this is the very essence of a Spurs fan. You're shit. You're coming to a Arsenal team that's been the best in over a decade. We're gonna beat you. You have the worst record at the Emirates since it's been built, even worse than Chelsea or Liverpool. But we're still gonna beat you. Make it make sense.
Stefan, I will tell you, I'm not in that camp, right? But I will tell you why many Spurs fans think like that, right? Because, right, when we are expected to do anything, we shit the bed. We always fucking shit the bed, right? You can put us against Tamworth, against fucking Coventry, against whoever, like Karabakh, whatever, right? If we played Karabakh in the Europa League final, right, I would predict us to fucking lose, right? Because that's what the team does, right? The issue is when everyone like writes us off and tells we are going to get absolutely like fucking shut on or whatever, right? It's not happening 100% of times, right? But there have been plenty of times where we as a Spurs fan base witnessed something like out of the blue, right? Like that 3-2 win against City, right? That we mentioned earlier on the stream. I think it was after like losing 3 in a row or something like that, and City were going for the title, whatever, right? And we somehow pulled that out, right? So this is like the sickening logic of being, or lack of logic of being a Spurs fan, right? When you are like down and everything is shit and everyone predicts you to lose, right? That somehow, for some fucking reason, I don't know why, you sometimes pull something out of the back, right?
No, Michael, I completely agree with you on this. However, it's usually because the opposing team underestimates you slightly, like Man City, for example. They don't view you as like a Liverpool, let's say. Arsenal always takes you seriously. Arsenal have lost their last 2 games. It's a night game. The fans are going to be really up for it. You can't deal with that. Your team cannot deal with any sort of pressure. I've seen it. You were leading Man United and almost choked it at the end at home.
Don't remind me of that game.
Yeah, it was a shit show. So for me, all we need to do is put a little bit of pressure on you and you will fold. And the fact is I just think overall, just as a team and as players, even if we're in a funk right now, I just think we're better than the 13th place team currently in the league. I'm sorry.
Well,
if you were closer to us.
Stefan.
On that note, I got to go.
Let's go.
I'll go to bed.
Beatrix, stop triggering me. Fuck off. Tomorrow we're gonna talk again.
All right.
I'll see you tomorrow. No, just say I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Show up tomorrow, guys. Watch the show, the post game show tomorrow, and come on, you Spurs.
Yeah, I'll set her up.
The first game we look for, Robbie. Tottenham away. When we got Tottenham away. Tottenham away. When we got Tottenham away.